Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode number 38 of Reezy Talks. I'm your host, Reezy, and I'm here today with Glen Zubia, aka Hustler Hacks. What's up, Glen?
What's up? How's it going?
Doing good. It's going good. Super busy because it's fourth quarter. You guys didn't see it, but literally just like pounding some water and like banging an apple down super fast. And that's like most of my nourishment for the day, as I've been extremely busy with fourth quarter. And I was asking Glen if he sold on Amazon because I know he sells on eBay. And what's the story about that, Glen?
So I was pretty much doing FBA for a good while, like eBay and FBA, and then once merch came out, that's where I kind of made the switch. Like I think it was 2015. And then that's where like Q4 mode, it was like right when it was ending, and I was like, I better jump into this merch thing like now.
How'd you hear about merch?
So Chris Green, they were interviewing him. I think it
CG the
was,
God.
yeah, I know. I think it was like Bonafide Hustler, and they were interviewing him, and he was supposed to be talking about Q4, like he was supposed to be talking about toys, all that, but he kept on bringing up merch, and like they're like, okay, let's get back into like the toy stuff, and then he went back into merch, and I was like, he keeps talking about merch, like what's the deal with this thing? And then
Like
I
it's
was like,
important or something.
yeah, exactly. And I was like, all right, I better go sign up right now. But I didn't even get started right away. I just signed up, and then I was still Q4 mode, so I didn't even really start cranking out some designs till like months later.
Right. When you failed to text me and let me know to sign up. Actually, I don't think we knew each other back then.
No, we didn't. And it was kind of funny because there was like 100, 200 people watching, I think, the live stream, and then who knows how many people even signed up when he was talking
Right,
about it.
because I think I started doing social media in early 2016 or like the late like quarter four of 2015, 2016.
Okay.
So it's almost 2 years solid. Actually, I don't know. It might be 3 years. Who knows? It's a patience game, guys. Trust
Oh
me.
no.
Speaking of the patience, how long have you been on YouTube, Glenn?
I think I think I started 6 years ago, and I was just doing like,
6 years.
yeah, I was doing like Ross finds, like just showing like stuff that I wanted to keep for myself. And then and then I gave up on it, and I didn't do any videos for like 2.5, almost 3 years.
Damn.
Yeah, that was a time when I was focused like on the full-time job because like just graduated from college, and I was like, all right, I'm full-time career mode. I don't have enough time for YouTube videos and stuff. I was like, nah, it's all right. I think at the time I had like 1,300 subscribers or something. And I was like, maybe I'll get back into it. Who knows? I just want to focus on the career.
Right.
And then like after that, I was like, yeah, career sucks. I better get back into YouTube.
Career sucks. Better get back into YouTube. That sounds very wise. So how many subscribers do you have? Do you know offhand?
I think it was like 35,000 or 36,000 around there.
Just a little 35, nothing big. Serious,
Yeah,
big boy
growing,
talk.
get in there.
Do you have any goals for YouTube?
Um, Not really. I guess it's kind of like the same thing like you said, like just being patient with it. Like the numbers are growing every day. I really don't. I guess if I saw like, oh, 100 grand or 50 grand, or where am I going to go to next? I just kind of like just want to keep building it up. But I definitely know that I got to get some more content out because I'm doing like 3 videos a week, and it's just not enough.
Right. I'm in the same boat. I actually made a goal for myself. It might be slightly ridiculous, but I want to have 100,000 subscribers before the end of 2018. And so I
Okay.
know that the way to get, because I'm at like 23 right now. So
Yeah.
that includes a possible couple viral videos to make that happen. But it's going to be posting more content. You know, I have to post, besides this live show, I have to post a minimum of 3 times a week. But I
Oh yeah.
know I would be much more likely to do it if I posted every single day, except, 6 days a week I posted and did the live show on Mondays. I think that would be the hammer right there, because for some reason, daily posting seems to be what takes your content to the next level. Like, look at Casey Neistat. He only had like 130 or 230 subscribers, and he had been 230,000, and he had been doing YouTube for, you know, like 4 years or something like that.
Yeah.
And then when he started doing the daily vlogs, he took off. Now he has like 4.5 million subscribers or something.
Yeah, I agree. I think you do have to do, I mean, at least like Monday through Friday. I mean, if you can do 5 videos and do it every day, and I get emails too, like, how come you're not putting out more content? And the thing is like, you kind of have to like schedule it out too. I mean, if you're like in your case, you're a family man. So you got like family and then doing your own stuff, like right now for FBA packing, right? My case,
yeah,
like whether you're doing, you're doing eBay, you're doing merch, and then you're still got to put out content. Not only that, but content that people actually trying to help others, like actually good content, and not just sitting there. You know, it's just like, yeah, you have to.
I gotta come up with more videos I can record just sitting there. Those are my favorite ones to record. I'm like, oh, I'm just sitting there talking about something, like my viewpoint on something. Like, shit, I'll record 3 of those in an hour. Let's go.
And I've seen, like, I mean, you see more and more people just, you know, sitting there going live. But now with, of course, YouTube changing around, you know, how much money you're making from that, if it goes through their process and over 1,000 views, and, you know, I know we don't need to talk about that.
Right. So let's talk about you a little bit. You are a reseller. You sell on eBay, primarily, correct?
Merch and then eBay.
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of talking about that as something else. So,
okay.
And also with the YouTube, Glen does merch by Amazon, which is great for him because he happens to be a designer. So it's like right up his wheelhouse. And correct me if I'm wrong, but you made $100,000 this year off of merch, or is it your total merch career?
Just total merch career, which I think
is like roughly 2 years or so.
Yeah, like I think 19 months, 20 months, you know, around there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna count it in months like it's a baby.
I know.
So that's 100,000 that went to your bank account that you have to pay taxes on, not sales, correct?
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing, baby. That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a totally different ball game.
There's not that many people that have done that, right? Like you probably know a couple others, right? And that's probably like less than 5 people that you can think of, right?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, maybe a handful. If
maybe that. Like you, Ken Real.
Yeah.
Daniel Caudill.
Yeah.
Which he doesn't do a lot of YouTube, right?
I haven't seen him or heard from him in a while.
He was actually the first person that I heard talking about merch, and I didn't really take him too serious. Like I did a one-on-one with him because he wanted me to refer his consulting to my audience, and so I was like, cool, well, let me check it out. And I was kind of blown away, but then I kind of put it on the back burner. I like uploaded, you know, I was in tier 25, so I like filled up my 25 slots and then kind of forgot about it. And then I had a Father's Day shirt that did like really well. It sold enough so that when the next tier up came up, I went to the 500 tier.
Okay.
But I kind of, you know, I kind of wasn't really paying attention because my slots were full. So like if you're a beginner, you know, and you fill up your slots, you're like, okay, my job's done, you know, and then I checked and I was like, whoa, crap. And my sales notifications were going to a different email for some reason. So I didn't really see it all.
Yeah.
But then I was like, whoa, like this shirt sold a bunch. Like I sold this shirt like 160 times or something.
Yeah.
And it just had like a good niche keyword for Father's Day. And then, so then I was like, oh, tier 500. And then around that time, what really got my attention is when RJ started doing it, because RJ, he quit his job based off of seeing my content and getting into Amazon. And then he did FBA, then he did drop shipping. Now he does Airbnb.
Oh yeah.
And then finally resting into merch and print on demand. He also does Etsy and whatnot. Do you do Etsy?
I just started. I've only sold like a handful of things.
Right. So what is Etsy? Is like it costs money to list your items, yeah, like 40 cents or something?
Yeah, it's like 20 cents, and then it's the Printful integration. So as soon as you sell something, you have to pay for the item. They'll make it, and then they'll give you your royalty from that. So yeah, I've only sold a couple of things right now, but that's like another totally different thing that I think could definitely take off, especially if you're waiting around for merch.
Right.
like get into this now and get some practice in
Yeah,
there.
that's what I tell people. They're like, well, I applied, now I'm waiting. And I'm like, no, you're not waiting. You need to learn the game, get some designs ready. Like minimum, you want to have 25 good designs like ready to go. I'd say even like 50, and have your knowledge for your keywording and how to find your designs and get your spreadsheets ready for like the seasonal. I mean, you might miss some holidays. Cool, cross those off the list. You know what I mean? But get ready for the next ones. Maybe even try and find a designer if you're not a designer to get ready or whatever. But learn Etsy and start, because dude, there's so much stuff you could sell on Etsy through Printful. There's like bags, there's pillows, there's coffee mugs, there's like, are you just doing shirts on Etsy or did you try anything else?
Right now I'm trying like shirts, mugs, and I think those are most of the things I'm doing right now. Just shirts and mugs right now.
Awesome.
So,
Awesome. Are you designing new designs for the mugs? Or are you trying to repurpose your shirt designs onto the mugs?
I did a little bit of different stuff for the shirts. I just repurposed some of the mugs, and the mugs are what have sold so far. So we're gonna see what
Awesome.
happens. Yeah.
Someone was asking about sale notifications for merch, and I misspoke. I actually meant payouts. So payouts, because I don't believe you get sale notification emails at all. You just get payout emails and emails that your design was posted, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I filter all those emails, so too many emails to look at. So if you're watching this and you don't know what Merch by Amazon is, pause the video, go to merch.amazon.com and sign up for an account. That's your first move. When you get approved, it's going to take anywhere from a week to 6 months to get approved. Some people have gotten approved pretty quickly. Sometimes it takes 3 months. It took me 3 months to get approved. I fully forgot about it by the time I got approved. And I don't know if it's taking longer now that more people are figuring out about it or whatnot, but do yourself a favor and sign up. It is Amazon's print-on-demand t-shirt business. Currently, it's just short sleeve t-shirts and long sleeve t-shirts, but we know for a fact that there will be crew neck sweatshirts coming. And what else? What was it? Is it hooded sweatshirts also, Glenn, or just crew neck sweatshirts?
Hoodies eventually, but nobody knows when.
Yeah, and regular sweatshirts also too, right? Crew neck sweatshirts. Crew necks and hoodies are coming next. I would imagine the crew necks come next because they're similar to the long sleeves.
Yeah.
As far as the format, whereas you print products, right? So the whole process of printing on a hoodie is a little bit different, yeah?
Yeah, it's probably a little bit different. And also, I mean, kind of like on our live chat about royalty cuts, that's the thing too, like with them expanding, they're gonna have to make more room for hoodies and for these, because it's totally different process from hoodies and shirts.
Right. Exactly. I just can't wait for them to like upgrade the quality of everything. This shirt that I'm wearing right now, this is a shirt I made for my coffee brand. It's obviously a Supreme ripoff, but it's for my coffee brand. And I had to order 4 before I got one that I liked. And it kept coming like slanted, curved, like one corner pulled out, and that's when I really learned for merch designs, it's not good to make stuff that like has really straight lines and shapes like that, because they're just throwing the shirt on the machine super fast, and sometimes it gets stretched and whatnot. So I actually I felt bad. Like I only refunded 2 of them, and then I ordered, because I was like, this is like bad. Like I'm just buying shirts, my own shirts, and then just saying like, nope, wasn't good enough. Nope, wasn't good enough. Like, because they'll give you your money back, but it's like, at what point do they feel, is their algorithm going to tell them I'm like stealing my own shirts?
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things they probably need to work on next is quality, because I mean, I've seen them too. I've even ordered through the family business, somebody wanted like a full color photo of like their family on the picture. And so like we ordered it, we got it, and of course like you can see like little specks and stuff, like the kind of like little texture. It wasn't like totally clear.
Right.
But also some of them do have like a weird smell. So
do you guys not do printing for your family business? Is it just design?
Well, we do like screen printing, so those will last longer, maybe like 1-2 colors, like, you have to do it separate. But in this case, they're doing like full color printing on shirts that are just running through the machine. So it's like digitally printed.
Right. So you're not going to be able to do a photograph print, because that's going to be what, like minimum like 16 colors or 32 colors or something?
Yeah, it'd be like insane. Yeah.
Yeah, can you imagine 16 or 32 screens for one shirt? Real quick, I'm also live on Instagram. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, you should. I'm pretty active on Instagram. Glen also has Instagram. It's at Hustler Hacks, same as his YouTube. Twitter as well, right, Glen?
Not really that active on Twitter.
You're not active on Twitter, but you have an account, right?
Yeah, it's there.
For the people that are active on Twitter. And also you do a Merch by Amazon podcast, correct?
Yeah, Merch Minds. We do an episode every single week. That's me and Young. I think we're on episode 59 or 60 or something coming up. So
it's hard to remember your episode names.
I know.
I forgot what episode this show was.
Yeah.
So there's some links down in the description. The first set is some stuff for me, but right after that in the description block for the episode, under the description block are some links for Glen, which are his YouTube. Go subscribe to his YouTube channel. Show our guests some love. His Instagram, and then the iTunes link for the Merch Minds podcast. So subscribe to the podcast. If you're feeling the content, leave them a 5-star review. Just let them know we need reviews anywhere, because that feedback is how we as creators know we're slipping, so we can improve our content. Or even maybe you have nothing bad to say, but you suggest something, an idea for us, and then we can make content based around what you guys like, which is always great. So let's talk about merch for a little bit. What tier are you in?
Right now I'm 8,000 tier.
8,000 tier.
They cut my submissions down because of course it's Q4 right now.
Oh, you cry baby. What did you get cut down to?
I got cut down to 80 submissions a day.
Oh, only 80 submissions a day. You butthead, man. I'm working with 5 submissions a day, man.
And then
I'm in the 500 tier. I'm on. So
okay.
Apparently your submissions, right? Your submissions are a percentage of your slots, right? If you do 80 a day and you're at 8,000 tier,
yeah,
right? What is that? 1/100th of your allotment.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can do 5 a day, and I'm at 500.
Mm-hmm.
At least right now, right? Could you previously do more before the cutback?
I think I was at 140 a day or something, which is just ridiculous.
So that math doesn't really work out. Are you able to max out your slots every day?
At one point I was, when I was doing at like 40 to 60 a day, but at this point it's getting tough. So I haven't maxed them out in a good while. Some days
have you ever considered hiring a designer, or is that like against your code of ethics since you're a designer? Isn't your whole family designers?
Yeah, my brother's a designer, so I hired him last week to do some designs for me, and I really want to get him ready for like next year. But it's the same thing, like I guess being a designer, you get picky on stuff, and I'm kind of like I could see this a little, like sometimes it's just kind of like it'd be
You're wrong all the time though, right?
What's up?
You're wrong all the time though, right?
Yeah,
you sell shirts that you thought you'd never sell, and then the shirts that you thought would be really good sellers don't ever sell.
It happens both ways, yes sir.
Right, yeah, exactly. You can't predict the market, man. That's one thing I learned a long time ago, is that I used to make business decisions based on like my own choices and actions, and then I realized I'm a freak of nature, and that I shouldn't do that because it's not going to work out like that. Most people, don't stay up till 4 a.m. packing FBA shipments. Most people don't like look at all the details that we look at, right? So important to just take into thought like what the market is buying. That's why I love doing research the way I do research. I'm assuming you do research in a similar way, right? You research based on what's selling and then make better versions.
Yes and no. I think there's I think we can break that whole thing down as far as I think getting a successful merch business and kind of the different things I think people need. But I think it's just totally true. Kind of Gary says it all the time. The market is the market. So we don't know, what's going to do good. And people get frustrated with that. You have to keep testing it over and over and over again. It may not sell the first time. Maybe if you change the design around, it'll sell the second time. But you never know. It's a totally different game from this eBay and FBA.
So can you explain to us how you do your research for Amazon merch?
So with merch, what I like to do, at least what I think is probably the best way to get a mix in there and to sell the most shirts. Number one, yes, definitely proven sellers. So we're talking rank, reviews, kind of like what you just talked about. So we're going through the research, seeing what's selling right now. Number two, definitely like niche based. I think it's important to have, okay, well, we have sports. Now let's narrow that down: football, basketball, soccer, golf. Now let's narrow those down. If you have like a mixture of different niches, it just keeps the, your business alive in different ways rather than just going through proven sellers. So
Right.
proven sellers, niches, a template based. I like to do template based stuff. That gives us like my example would be like something for like Thanksgiving. The example was like blessed, mother, mom, and you can change them out.
Scaled out designs. At least that's what I would call it, scaled out design. So when I have my designer make designs, I pay her $4 a design, but for variants of a scaled thing, I do $2 for each variant, which is honestly is like a really great deal because she's probably just swapping out a word and then changing the font size or whatever, and she makes 50% as much, and it's quick and not that creative. And like, yeah, I could do it, but I got so much stuff to do. $2 is fine for me. You know what I mean? Yeah. So those are those shirts. Like I have 3 or 4 different sets of Christmas themed shirts with like candy canes or like stockings or Christmas lights, and then it says like mom, dad, son, daughter, or brother, sister, grandma, grandpa.
Yeah, you go through the whole family.
Yeah. Same thing too with like I have a bunch of cancer shirts, etc.
Yeah, so those you definitely need to have in there. Also helps you just fill up your spots and see what people are kind of looking for. And then trending, of course, people hit it big with the eclipse. I didn't. I was doing other designs, but I know people were just like, out there making huge money with the eclipse stuff. But the bad thing is with them not having the other backup, they just relied on Eclipse, and then it was kind of like, what do I do now that Eclipse thing is kind of fallen? Where do I go now? And they kind of didn't really know what to do after that. So trending for sure, add that in there. And I like to call them like year-round sellers, just things that I guess most people can relate to. In that case, a certain city-based or state, of course, birthdays. Same thing with like the family. I think there was one of them that was like Cousin Crew, and that one sold like good for the longest time. And I was like,
the Cousin Crew.
Yeah, like stuff you can relate to with your family.
Yeah, I can't wait to have 80 slots. If I had 80 uploads a day, I would do stupid stuff. Like, I mean, it's not stupid because it would probably sell, but like, I've thought about making shirts that are just for people like, hi, my name is Mike. Hi, my name is Joe. Like it legit, it's only made for people whose name is Mike or Joe. And I've seen some people with designs like that. I feel like it would sell pretty well, like people are doing searches for people like birthday gift for someone named Joe.
Yeah, I've seen those too. And those could do good too. But of course, like you said, once you have the slots open, you're able to do it, then that will work.
Or I've even seen, here's one that I've seen people. For example, this is an actual shirt that I see. It's like a his version dabbing while kicking a soccer ball. So it's like in the corner 0 0 0 1 0 2 0 3 0 4.
Yeah.
So the way they made those shirts and scaled them out is like for a coach to buy those shirts for an entire team of players.
Oh yeah. I've seen those before. I've done a couple of those. And then only like certain numbers sold, which got kind of weird.
That is kind of weird.
Because then I had to like re-upload the other ones that didn't sell to make sure you still have like the full numbers on there.
Yeah. I guess maybe I could be wrong thinking that it was a coach buying them, and really the target market is just kids who they're like, oh, I play soccer and I'm a girl and 6 is my number. So, that's an idea for a shirt. 6 is my lucky number. 5 is my lucky number, like.
Yep. And then you do it for birthdays too.
Yeah, exactly. I just uploaded a whole bunch of nerdy birthday shirts. So nerd niche, birthday niche.
There you go. That's a good thing too. It's just like cross niching. So like you said, nerd and then birthday.
Cross stitching?
No, niching. Like cross
niche. I thought you were over here weaving a sweater. So we're talking about merch. What are you talking about knitting a sweater for?
Oh, and then also, okay, so that's like my main account, and then I recently have I opened up a second account with a friend. So he started, I think he got approved in like March. He's not a designer, but he tried to like figure things out. It didn't work out. He couldn't sell any. He got frustrated. So I made a deal with him, and I was like, okay, well, let's figure it out. Let's go half and half on your account. If and when I build it up, I fully own half of this account. So he'll owe me the royalties and contract, all that stuff when it's over and done with. So right now, that one's at the 25 tier. I got it maybe like 2 weeks ago or something. And then that one was kind of funny because I was like 2 a day, and then they brought me down to 1 a day. And then once you're at 10 tier, it's like it takes forever to get loaded up. So yeah, it's been kind of weird. But
how many sales a day do you have that one at?
That one, we don't even have that many live shirts since we can only do 1 a day. But I think I've sold maybe like 20 so far. So I should be able to tier up after the 25 pretty soon.
Shout out to Biohazard Picker. Haven't seen you for a while, bro. Nice to see you.
What's up, Biohazard?
Old school status out here.
Yes, sir.
So what percentage of, like, what is a good account? Like, if someone was just tell you I'm selling this many shirts a day, and then you ask them what tier are they in, what would you consider good? So for example, I'm just fully put myself on blast. Mm-hmm. I'm selling less than 10 shirts a day on average, somewhere between 7 to 10 shirts, and I have 460 shirts listed. Is that terrible?
I say no. I just think that I really don't see anything being terrible until you get the main numbers and you're like going all in. Like in Yang's case, he's doing something ridiculous because he's like focusing a bunch of time on like each individual design. Like he wants to make sure his designs are top notch. And so he's like, he doesn't have that many, I think he has like 600 something loaded, and he's doing maybe like 20 a day or something.
That's so like really good.
Yeah.
So and is he doing AMS ads or no?
No, he's not doing AMS right now.
Are you running AMS ads?
I was, and it was a little up and down, so I need to get back into it.
Right. I'm still trying to get into it, let alone back into it. I tried to get in, and then they I don't know, I must have clicked on a bunch of dumb stuff because it wouldn't let me in. Waited for the email, and then they're asking for like more approval and blah 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 blah. And like I know how people are getting in, like just like a couple days ago. So just yesterday I reapplied with a new email. I'm waiting for that approval. Hopefully I can get in.
Yeah, the AMS thing is kind of tricky, but it's just a matter of figuring out. Like I know RJ has a pretty good thing kind of going on that too, and yeah, finding the time to do that, because even with Etsy, I know Young's running ads for Etsy, and that's been helping him in that case. So
how many shirts a day are you selling, and how many do you have listed in the 8,000 tier?
So right now I have like 2,500 shirts.
Step your game up, jeez.
I know. And then I was at one point I was selling pretty easily like 45 to 50 a day, and then that's gone down since we've gotten like more competition. And not only that, with how many uploading, I was doing like 100 a week, and I was like focused on that. And then it just kind of got like, oh man, I gotta do this. I'm doing eBay. So now I'm doing maybe like 25 to 30 a day. But even then,
what's your price point?
I like to do, if they're simple text-based, I'll do like $16.99, $17.99. If they do have some type of like design elements, graphics, icons, I'll go like $18.99, $19.99.
And is that your starting price? You just set it and forget it, or do you do a tiered pricing strategy?
No, I just set it, forget it. I think there's just too many on there. I really
Will you raise the price on shirts that start selling really well?
No, I'm leaving them. Most of the time, the ones that, I mean, if they are selling pretty good, I mean, $17.99, $18.99, I'll leave it on there. Because I don't have any shirts at like $12.99 or $11. Like that's just dirt cheap. I don't even. Some people like that where they can kind of like, okay, it's gotten some sales, a couple of reviews, now I could build it up.
Yeah, it's a good strategy for tiering up, I believe.
Yeah, for tiering up.
Myself, definitely. Since I'm not making too many sales, I think my main problem is probably my keywords. So we can talk about that in a second. So I just recently went and lowered all my shirts that haven't sold one yet, that have been up for at least a month. I went and lowered them down to $12.99.
Okay.
And when I woke up this morning, I actually had sold 3 that I had never sold before that I lowered. And so I bumped those up $1 each to $13.99. So that's my strategy. Lower it to $12.99 and then bump it up $1 every time it sells, with the hopes that it's getting a little bit of boost in the algorithm from the sales, and I'll be able to attain the higher prices. Do you ever buy your own shirts to kickstart the sales rank?
No, I've never done it.
I hear that a lot of people do that.
Yeah, I think
It's
if
not
you're
against
if
the
you're at the
policy,
10
right?
tier, yeah,
I
if
don't
you're at
think
the 10
so.
tier, and I mean, even at 25, you just put in the money just to do it. Maybe you could sell them on eBay, sell them locally, do
Right.
something. I think I mean,
Yeah,
it's worth it.
find like your local store or church or somebody that needs shirts and doesn't have them, and be like, "Look, I'll print you 25 for 12 bucks a piece, or
Yeah,
10 bucks a
exactly.
piece, and take a hit for 50 bucks or whatever."
Yep, and you can tier up, then you're good from there. You can really start to build it up.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people, they're like, "What should I do? I'm in the 10 tier, I'm in the 25 tier." I'm like, "Buy your shirts, just get the hell out of there." Like, there's 25 tier is hard. Is there a 50 tier?
No, I think you go to 100 after that.
Right. Yeah, because I went straight to 500 from 25, so I don't know about those smaller tiers.
Yeah, 10, 25, and then you should be going to 100. You should be.
Yeah, someone asked, "Do you make anything on your shirt at that price?" At $12.99, I believe you make $1.64 when you sell a shirt. I'm not
Yeah.
100% sure. I think that's about. Is that right, Glenn?
Yeah, because on my other account, I'm going super low on that one because I am
Yeah, I
trying
know
to just tier up.
because break even is like 11.55. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, it's like 11.50.
Let's talk about keywords, keyword strategies, proper keywords. How do you keyword a shirt? Maybe we can just create a fictional shirt like in our heads right now and talk about how you would keyword it, or how you
Um,
find keywords, or what kind of tools you use. I also want to touch on tools, but let's go over keywords first.
I guess if we're talking like a Christmas related shirt, I'll probably put, like the slogan name first or whatever it's kind of about.
Considering the
Like if it,
fact that you think people are searching for that.
yeah, because what I like to do too is just playing around with like the Amazon search bar, and I'll just be like, I'll type in like Santa, and then I'll put like another, just type in a single letter and just see what
Mm-hmm.
comes out. Every single letter, and just see what are people searching for with Santa. So if it's like
Right.
Santa, where the hose at, then I could like, make a shirt off of that or something if people are searching for it.
Do you have a
Um,
Santa wear the hose at shirt?
no, but it actually did
You
good like two
should.
years ago.
You should. That's probably pretty saturated though, but
Oh yeah, it's super saturated.
so like, okay, so for the shirt Santa wear the hose at, how would you title that? I don't think brand is weighted into search, right?
I like to put something in the brand.
I do too, but I've heard that it's not, specifically from private label sellers, but obviously it could be different than merch. But I mean, it's built on the same backbone, so I don't understand why it wouldn't be.
Yeah, I think it would. I would probably do in that case. I would probably put like funny Christmas teas or something, and
Right.
then
So
put
you do
all
group
your
you
yeah
would name all your funny Christmas shirts funny Christmas tees, right? In the
yeah
brand.
yes
That way
sir.
they show up, because that's a huge thing. A lot of people don't know is that when you have the same brand name on your shirts, when you see it on the product page, at least after it's sold a few times, it automatically displays the other shirts in that brand underneath it. It says customers who viewed this shirt also viewed this shirt or also
Hmm.
purchased this shirt. And sometimes you can get 1 or 2 rows of just your shirts, like literally a huge screen real estate for zero cost. And it's funny because they didn't actually view those other shirts. It's just
Yeah.
Amazon's just trying to promote it to sell more shirts. So that's when I started making more than like 1 or 2 sales a day, when I started branding my shirts out. Um, so for the Santa with my hose at, what would the title be, and then what would you put in the bullets and description?
I'd probably put something like, Santa where the hose at, funny or humor, or and then of course I have to put probably maybe Christmas in there again, Christmas or holiday, anything that's kind of based off of
So
like
Santa where the hose at, funny Christmas
Christmas holiday
shirt,
T-shirt or something. Yeah,
Christmas
see how many
holiday.
characters you have to play with.
Which variation of the word shirt is your favorite, or do you think is the most valuable to have? Like shirt, T, shirt with no spaces, T space shirt, T dash shirt. Like what? Which one? What do we do?
People have asked those questions, and then they try to figure that out at one of the conferences that I went to, and they said it didn't really make a difference.
As
But
far as you think the search is indexing all of them similarly? T space
yeah,
shirt, T no
mhm,
space shirt, T dash
yeah,
shirt, TEE shirt.
yeah. But it's also pretty good to. I mean, you should have it in there though, so it does make sense instead of just having like where the hose at Santa. You're like, what? What is it?
Yeah,
So at
yeah,
least T-shirt
exactly.
kind of like confirms it, but I heard it
Yes,
really
like
didn't
where the
make a.
hose at, Santa, funny, Christmas, shirt. Just try to use up all your spaces, right? If you only have
Yeah,
4 letters and you can't figure out something, maybe you're gonna put up Xmas, you know?
yeah,
Actually, I don't know how many people search Xmas. I
yeah.
sure as hell am too lazy to type Christmas. That's a
That
lot
or
of
you put
letters in
holiday,
2017 to be typing out,
right?
right?
But who knows? People are doing it.
Yeah, maybe they're voice searching.
Yeah, that's true too.
Cheaters. So do you use any tools for keywording, or you just like to go at it how you were just saying, which is actually a great way of indexing Amazon keywords by looking at the suggested searches?
I'll use Merchant Formers just to kind of see like the ones that have sold well, like what kind of keywords are they using? And if it's something that I maybe like words I haven't really thought of, then I think that's cool. I can kind of like figure that part out. But for the most part, it's just something kind of similar to that.
So if you're watching or listening to this, because this will be on my podcast also, if you don't know what Merchant Former is, it is a software tool. It's web based and it's specifically made for merch by Amazon sellers. I believe it's $20 a month. Yeah, Glenn,
I think so.
which is ridiculously cheap. I mean, for what it does, I would say that's basically free. For the longest time, I thought it was $100 a month, and I didn't even really think about it. And then when I realized it was only $20 a month, I was like, "Oh crap! It's only that's like 3 coffees. Like, who cares?"
Yeah.
But at least for me, my favorite tool to use is the Merch Hunter.
Oh
Just
yeah,
because
definitely.
in that section of it, the reason why Merch Informer is very valuable tool, and I think it might be the most valuable aspect of it, is that they index Amazon shirts and create their own database, and then you can see the sales rank of the shirts, not just the sales rank, but the sales rank history, which is most important. And so when you do a search for like peanut butter and jelly, and you can see all the best selling peanut butter and jelly shirts, show me only the top 1,000, show me only 1,000 and above, show me the top 500, whatever. And then it will show you a thing that says estimated daily sales. Now that's terribly inaccurate because it's just based on, no offense to Neil, it's just it's just based on the current sales rank, and they're extrapolating that out to see things that if it consistently sold at that sales rank, the sales estimate would be much more accurate. But a lot of times what happens is a shirt only sold 1 or 2 times, and that's the rank right now, and it doesn't really sell that many times. But right next to the estimated sales rank is a little, I think it looks like a time, like a clock or something. You
Hmm.
click on it, and then you see an expanded sales rank graph. And on this graph, it's business as usual for Amazon sellers, and you can see the spikes on the graph, and you know that every spike represents at least one sale. So that is a major key because you can look at designs, and then you can see the history, and you can go, oh wow, this sold 3 times in the last month, this sold 5 times, this sold 10 times, whatever meets your criteria for being worth your time to design a shirt for that niche. Now you might want to design a shirt that's like a direct better improvement of that shirt with the same text, or you might have a similar text, but at least you know that that shirt appeals to a certain type of customer and they're buying that many a month. So you know there's meat on the bone there. So that, at least for me, is the most useful part of the tool. Then there's also some keyword tools and some competition tools and some stuff where you can put your design phrases in there to track your designs to make sure that they don't get trademarked, because searching for trademarks is a very important thing with Amazon merch. You might make a shirt and then you should research every single thing you're going to put on a shirt, even if you think it's not trademarked. So I use a free tool called TM Hunter
Yeah,
that
that's what I used
allows
to.
me to look it up. And what I've learned is you have to look everything up, because you might swear up and down. Like if I had to bet you $20 if this was trade, that would be a really fun game actually. Let's bet $20 if this phrase is trademarked or not. It would be hard to win because the stupidest thing. Like I made a shirt that just said like boss girl or something. And then it turns out there's like a book written titled that or something. So it's like, that's trademarked, you know? And it's like, I've had a couple shirts taken down for trademarked and I'm like, what? That's trademarked? Like for real?
Yeah.
So important to check. And that's a good tool. You can load your phrases in and it will check it for you like once a day or something and alert you if one of your shirt has become trademarked, so you can take it down before Amazon takes it down for you, because you don't want to get those strikes on your record. Have you had any rejection, any shirts taken down for that reason, Glenn?
Yeah, maybe like not a lot over time, but maybe at least 20, I'd probably say, that I've gotten taken down over the time.
What about rejection?
I think I've gotten 2 rejections so far.
Yeah, I had a few Donald Trump Pendejo shirts, and I didn't know why that was taking off or whatever, but I just see like usually this is what happens. I'm like, okay, this shirt's selling, I'm gonna make it, and like I don't do the research. I still don't know why that was like trending or whatever. But obviously that word in English is definitely not allowed on a shirt, right?
Yeah.
But I put it on a shirt and it was fine, and I made some sales. And then one day I went to change the price because it was selling really well, so I wanted to up it $1. And lo and behold, it got rejected and didn't pass. So I was like, oh crap, they added Pendejo to the database. Like,
oh man, that's funny. Yeah, that's one of the worst things too, when you're selling good and you try to re-upload it and then it doesn't get accepted. You're like, I was just selling these right now.
Yeah, like, dude, you already let me in. Just let me back in.
Yeah, you never know.
Is there any type of keywords that you put on a shirt? Like you really try to get this keyword on a shirt? Like some people swear by the word funny. Some people say you should put gift in the keywords. Gift, funny makes sense, obviously, if that makes sense for what they're searching for. But gift sounds really good to me because I feel like people like, you know, like if you could put birthday gift in every single one, like I do actually put that in my bullets. I say makes a great birthday gift for, you know, man, kids, woman, whatever. But in the title, which is obviously the heaviest weighted part of the keywords, because we don't have real keywords. Is there any of those type of words that you try to get in there?
Like funny, humor, gift, those are all good. But yeah, I have them in the bullet points. I don't have them in the actual title, but I think those are definitely worth putting in there for all your.
What
all your
is
shirts.
And have you done any like marketing on your shirts at all, or are you just organic search?
So I tried AMS. I did, like, at first it was kind of going okay, and then at one point I had like 1,600, or no, I think it was like 16,000 impressions and only had like 2 sales, and I was like, what's going on here? And so I was trying to figure that out, and then I also ran some Facebook ads, and then with Facebook I noticed that I was getting clicks but they weren't buying. But then I noticed that other shirts in that same like brand name were getting sales. So I was like, well, maybe they just didn't like that shirt, but they like the other ones. So I was like, I don't know, it kind of really didn't make sense, but I'm thinking maybe Facebook. I mean, that's something that I would probably do more than AMS. I think there's a lot of potential there in Facebook that's kind of untapped, that are people still trying to figure that out too.
Right. One thing that I have actually sold some Donald Trump. Again, sorry if you are a fan of Donald Trump, you might not be a fan of mine. But no offense, I still love you. But I have some anti-Donald Trump shirts, and it's just too easy to go into Twitter. Like when he makes something that like some controversial comment, which happens about, 8 times a day, it gets like 5,000, 10,000 replies. And you just literally just hop in there and just be like, I'm going to leave this right here. Like I might even say just that. And then it's like a link to a Donald Trump shirt on merch or whatever.
There you go.
And I make sales every single time. I haven't like, I don't take it too serious. But I was like, oh, maybe I should like make a different Twitter for this, like cool shirts or something, rather than like me doing it with my actual account, which I just don't care. I'm ruthless like that. But it just proves to point that there's probably a million different things you can do like that, like specifically using Twitter to market shirts like that, like hopping on hashtags and getting into different pop conversation. Like, because think about this, something could happen and then like, you're watching the AMAs, somebody says something or slips and falls or something, I don't know, and you make a shirt around it. There's a hashtag trending, and 10 minutes later you can have a shirt live on merch, and then you can go get it. Like, what business can you do that? Make a product based around something that just happened 5 minutes ago and then start marketing it to people. Like, that's pretty valuable.
Oh yeah, like yeah, one instant to the next, it's already online. There's no one like I don't know any other one that could actually do that. At the same time, like what other platform is going to give you that much of, I guess, for like people to bring in to actually see it? Also, like all this organic sales, like
Right.
that's why they could also do the royalty decrease, but you're not going to find
Yeah.
anything else.
Let's talk about that. What is the actual details? Because it's about 50%. Yeah.
I think if it's $19.99, it went down like 30%. If you're at $17.99, it went down like 25% or something like that. I know I had that earlier because we talked about that for the last the last podcast. So yeah, you're going down. If you're at $19.99 right now, your royalty would be $7.19. After January 15th, it goes down to $5.38.
Dang.
So about like $2 more or less.
Dang, these greedy sons of. Hopefully that those $2 are going towards improving the facilities, the quality control, bringing us hooded sweatshirts. Because
Yeah.
I'm actually fine with a royalty cut if we get more abilities and more options. Because I think that when the new garments roll out and eventually when Amazon like full on does like embroidery, and because I fully think they're going to do embroidery and they'll get sublimation printers to where they can do all over print shirts and yoga pants and socks, and and maybe they'll get into just full on taking over print on demand, which I think they actually will, because it makes sense. Right now it's print on demand clothing, and from there it's not much of a further jump to switch to mugs, stickers, mouse pads,
Yeah.
tote bags or whatever. It's the same warehouse, right? So I think it will be a beast. Like, I've been selling a good amount of long sleeve tees, and I have them priced at $28.99. So I make $7 and something every time one sells. Which I guess is pretty much a standard price for a decent long sleeve, because like $20 is a t-shirt price, or 25 or 28. I don't know. I don't buy very much stuff at full price. I try not to. But that's not how you make money. But what I've noticed is that I think a lot of people aren't taking the long sleeve shirts too serious, because I have designs that I uploaded all my best sellers to long sleeves, and then I went through all my designs that I thought should have been best sellers but never were, and put them on long sleeves, and they started selling, like dog shirts and stuff like that. And so I have, in my head at least, my reasoning is that, people aren't taking long sleeves seriously. There's less competition for pug shirts in the long sleeve category on Amazon.
Yeah, that's true.
How many long sleeve pug merch shirts are there versus short sleeve pug merch? There's probably 8,000 pages of pug shirts, So
yeah, kind of
think about if you have long sleeves as, push up your designs that are, in niches that are already saturated, or maybe try and make maybe just go and look through the top 100 selling shirts on merch, which you can do with Merch Hunter, and check to see if those have existing counterparts in the long sleeve category, and make those. Is there any way we can search for just long sleeves right now?
Not that I know of. So they got to work on that too.
Right. Do they come up on Merch Informer long sleeves, or no? I don't think so.
I haven't seen them.
No, I haven't either.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some software tools besides Merch Informer. There's a bunch of free ones, and like the little websites and like little Chrome extensions. Is there anything that you use?
I do use like the DS Amazon Quick View just to get the ranks.
That's a major key. Whether or not, if you sell on Amazon at all, you need DS Amazon Quick View. Shout out to whoever made that. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
You should be charging for that, by the way.
Oh, I know. It's kind of crazy that it's free. So that
Right? I
one.
feel like that should be, if that extension was $100 one time fee, I'd buy it without question.
Oh
If
yeah,
it
for
was
sure.
if it was if it was, $5 a year, $20 a year, I'd also buy it, I mean, I'm because I use Reseller, but that only shows up for product pages, not in searches,
Yeah,
which
searches now.
is
Yeah, a big time
I
help.
think there I
Trying
think
to do it.
it's like the only one. I think maybe the AMPM tool, the Helium 10, I think that one's free also, and I think at least this aspect of it, I think that has a similar function. I'm not sure.
Yeah, and kind of like what Kim says, Unicorn Smasher. I was using that for a little bit too. It kind of puts everything, for you in the corner. But I don't know. I think you can kind of go back and forth in between both.
Yeah, I have Jungle Scout, so I just use Jungle Scout, but that's definitely useful because sometimes the search results they're not in the right order as far as sales rank goes. So it's awesome to be able to Jungle Scout the page and then sort it by rank and then go through and open those shirts in separate tabs and then look at those individually.
Yeah. I also use like the autofill extensions. So if I'm like listing in bulk, then I could just autofill, the same brand name over and over again or whatever keywords over and over again. So I like to list in the same niche as many as possible so I can get as many, done. So that really helps that
Right.
way.
Yeah, that's a huge thing that took me a while to realize too. And I guess it was waiting till I was being more serious about it. Thanks for the super chat, Mark. Mark just kicked down $5.
There we go, Mark.
Appreciate that, bro. That's what's up. So when I see Glenn, I owe him a beer.
Partial beer, 250, whatever we can get.
Hey, we're drinking Natty Light, baby. Tall cans out of that. What are you talking about? We're gonna have some Chavellas. You drink a Chavella?
No.
No? Jesus, come on,
No.
bro. Don't let me out Mexican you.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, someone said don't put Pug Life on a shirt. Not a good idea. Another person, Kim, she's actually an admin. She was saying that 93% of active Pinterest users say they use Pinterest to plan for purchases, and 87% of Pinterest users said they purchased something because of Pinterest. Definitely something to look at. I recently, thanks to Kim, she's actually managing it for me, got a Pinterest account going for myself. So I have a presence on Pinterest. Go to Pinterest and find me. Start pinning away. There's a lot of stuff on there.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of good stuff, especially doing your research, doing all that. I mean,
Yeah, that's actually a
Pinterest,
good
yeah.
little side talk. As I use I don't just research shirts on Amazon. I will research shirts on Pinterest as well. It's like my second best favorite way to. Is that like there's first off there's an extension called Pin on Top.
Mm-hmm. I think we froze.
Whatever it's called, I don't even know the
There you go.
terminology. But
Uh-huh.
I mean, if you search 200 repins to 5,000 repins, like people are buying those shirts. You can guarantee it. So you can just take. Did we lose you, Glenn?
I think we froze. Yeah, I think we froze. Well, I can hear you now.
I can see you and hear you. Hopefully we didn't freeze. Too serious,
Well,
guys.
the live is freeze, but okay, I think we're better now. We haven't
Freezy
come
free
back on yet.
sales.
Okay, we're
Dang,
back.
man. My internet's getting crazy lately. I told my daughter to quit watching Netflix. I was like, no Netflix for an hour and a half, damn it.
All right, now we're back.
Are we good, guys? Sorry for the freezing. Even more sorry if you're listening to this on the podcast because that doesn't make very much sense to you. The podcast froze for a second, guys, but we're back.
There you go.
Where were we at? What were we talking about? Pinterest.
Yeah, Pinterest. Yeah.
Doing research on Pinterest is a great way. You can search for Halloween shirts, and if something's been repinned 500, 2,000 times, you know it's selling. There's no way in hell it's not selling. You know what I mean? And so then you can just send those links to your designers or go off those, or you can go look for counterparts on Amazon. Now, here's a clutch thing. If you find a design or a phrase that's sold, that's repinned, a bunch of times, and it doesn't have a counterpart on Amazon, that's a lucrative opportunity for you right there.
Yes, sir.
Like, get those designs up, get 5 or 10 variations of that design up. Another thing I really like to do is, and it sucks, it's funny to say it sucks, but I never did this until I was selling on Merch by Amazon. Now when I go anywhere that's crowded, I just look at people's shirts like crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm just taking notes on the shirts. Like any shirt that anybody's wearing that's not likely to be trademarked, I'm writing it down in my notepad on my phone. So like last time I went to Disneyland, I left with like hundreds of design ideas. And some of those have been selling pretty well for me, but it's insane to me. It just blows my mind to see the shirts that people wear, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I never really like noticed it before, and then now when you see, you're like, some shirts are kind of lame, but hey, people are buying them, so I'm like, all right.
Yeah,
cool.
like literally, here's this shirt that I thought was pretty lame, but I mean, I guess it sells. It says "Jesus Got My Back" on the front, and then on the back there's a picture of Jesus.
There we go, double-sided.
Jesus Got My Back. Oh, aren't they raising the rates on double-sided too? It's cost an extra $1 now.
Yeah, two-sided printing is plus $4.
$4. There goes all your two-sided shirts, guys.
Yeah.
That's their way of telling us they don't like doing it.
Yeah.
I actually had a lot of people say that they had shirts that had 2 designs on them, and when they ordered the samples, it didn't come double printed. It just came with the front. Like the guys that are operating the printing press.
They just forgot. They forgot to throw it back in. All right, we're freezing again. Hopefully we'll come back soon.
Oh, fucking hell.
Okay, now you're back.
Yeah, no. I don't know what's going on, guys. They had shirts that had 2 designs on them, and when they ordered the Hold on a second. Didn't come. Sorry, guys. Super apologies. I have no idea what's going on with my internet right here. If that happens, Glenn, just take it away.
It's just I guess they could just hear me, but they can't see me.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. I'm super sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on. Earlier today, my internet was being really wishy-washy, and it reset my router a couple times, and I thought it was good, but apparently I was wrong.
All right, I think we're good.
Awesome. So, what were we saying again?
Royalty stuff. I think we're frozen again. Can everybody still hear me? Let me know. Reezy said I can take over.
We're back again.
Okay, yeah, now we're back.
We're gone, and now we're back again.
Yeah. All right, we think we're good.
Jesus Christ. Sorry for using the Lord's name in vain and for the streaming issues. I have no idea what's going on right now, guys. It's not a dial-up connection, I promise you. I'm not using Netscape Navigator. I don't know what's going on, but I'll try and fix this. Definitely. Probably going to be the main thing that I'm focused on for the rest of the night. So let's talk about, we were talking about Pinterest, right? And finding design ideas off Pinterest. Then we were talking about finding designs in real life.
Yeah.
You said you do that too, right?
Yeah, I try to like just get some notes down, like put it in my phone and see what people are wearing, because you don't even know what's out there. Next thing you know, nice good shirt for Amazon.
Exactly. They just come in Disneyland. It's insane. So it's like, it's cool to just see people wearing shirts when you're out in public, but the more crowded the space is, the better it. Like literally at Disneyland, you just sit down, find anywhere to sit down, and they just walk to you. They just come at you left and right, just shirts everywhere. And it's awesome.
Disneyland should just run like a promotion. Like if you're wearing a T-shirt, you can show up somewhere and then take full advantage.
Yeah, no, definitely. Um, so we talked about the royalty cuts. Is there anything that the audience would like to know about? Get your questions in, guys, so that we can get these asked to Glenn. Audio stays when the video cuts out. So you guys heard me freaking out. I was like, "Oh, shnikey. What are we about to do?" Alta Vista shut me down. Turn the Wi-Fi off on your phones. No, I literally thought the chat ended. I thought it was going to end permanently, and I was going to go live on YouTube from my phone on cellular. But then I was thinking, how's Glenn going to get on? And then I was thinking, I'll just call Glenn and we'll finish the rest of the show on Instagram via LTE on Instagram split screen.
But we're good.
Yeah, we're good. Sorry, guys. So let's talk about Ross fines. You want to talk about Ross fines?
Sure. I think the chat was like riled up for like Ross finds. The thing is, like, okay, I get it. Ross finds is kind of maybe it's because like throw the hunt, you want to find stuff.
Right.
But then merch is more of kind of like technical, getting into like, research base. So maybe it's not as fun.
Right. No, I'm interested. I sell on Amazon. I sell personally on eBay, but my business sells shoes on Amazon. So it's kind of conflict of interest or whatever. So I'm not really, because most of the shoes at Ross don't have boxes, right? So I would possibly polybag and send into FBA some stuff I would find at Ross, but we're not talking like $100 Nikes or $100 Nike cleats or anything like that. It would have to be like $50 or less, and probably not shoes, more like sandals, flats, cheaper, Under Armour or something like low end cleats, nothing too serious, right?
Yeah, that's kind of like the big difference, I think, with both. And yeah, if you're selling like on FBA, you're not gonna sell the high-end Jordans, you're not gonna sell the Kobe's. Even then, some of them might even be like slow-moving ASINs, even if you were gonna do it. Just because those aren't really the shoes that sell like on Amazon. So you almost have to have like two different mindsets. Like Ross, you're going for kind of like collector type stuff that, okay, cool. LeBron's, Kobe stuff, I get a good deal. I can resell them and sell them for like 120. I got them for 40 or 50. And then
Right.
with FBA, it's like you got to do the research on it too.
Yeah, it's more of a commodity shoe marketplace. The way I look at it, I sell a lot of runners,
Yeah.
like Flyknits, runs, Evolution, contact free or whatever, flex contact, like stuff that people are gonna open up the box, put them on, and throw the box away and go for a run. Like,
Yeah. Well, here's a question for you about shoes. So what about sales rank? Let's say something has a really, really good sales rank. I mean, colorway definitely comes into consideration. I think with FBA, it's
huge.
different that way too. Like you might see something has like a really, really good rank, but you only have pink, but yet like the black one is the one that's selling.
Right, exactly. So a lot of people don't know this, but on Amazon, on a product page, you can have a variation. So the main shoe is the parent ASIN, and the other colorways are the variations or the child ASINs of that shoe, but they all share one product page, and there's only one sales rank per each product page, which means that, yes, the rank is 12,000, but the more variations there is, the less sure that you are that the variation that you're holding is the one that's responsible for the sales rank, right? So it's like, if you have the pukey color or the pink one, like, you should be concerned, maybe don't go as deep, because if you look at on the product detail page, you can use Reseller to see the different review counts for different shoes, because the different variations and even different sizes, I think, get different reviews, and so you can see which shoe gets the most reviews, which one's in stock more or less, which is also telling. So it's kind of tricky, but I would definitely feel a lot less confident on a well-ranked shoe in a funny color if there was a lot of variations. If there's only 3 or 4 variations, I don't care. I'll buy any of them, because like It's a popular ranked page. There's only 4 different colors to click on. They're all selling. But when some Nikes have 30 plus variations, it's insane.
Yeah, and it's harder for the customer to also like find that certain colorway too, because like they might like that color, and then like the sizes open up, and then their size isn't even there.
Right.
So it kind of like throws it
if
off.
You think about like Google, like how often do you go to the second page of a Google search? Never. If what you want's not on the first page, you probably do another search, right?
Yeah.
And so think about the customer. They're not going to go through and click on all, there's 30 different, how many rows do they do? Like 8 boxes by like 6 or 5, or like, that's too many little boxes to hover over. Nobody has time for that. So
yeah. So
ain't
in your
nobody got
case,
time for that.
are you pretty much just going for like primary colors?
I try to. Sometimes the deals are really good to where it's like it's worth it, right? But just anytime the color is like really funny, I want to get more research done on it. So sometimes I will have a laptop with me and I'll go to the car maybe and look it up. Or I've even had when I know I'm going outsourcing for shoes, I'll leave my browser open on my computer with Reseller loaded up, like searching for shoes. And then I'll have like the VPN setup going on with the Google Chrome remote desktop. And then I'll control my computer from my phone while I'm remote, which allows me to see the more data that Reseller has.
Mm-hmm.
And I can make a better buying decision based on which shoe has more reviews. Because to me, reviews are more important than rank, actually. I don't care what the rank is. If something has a couple hundred reviews, it's selling really well, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's another thing that a lot of people mistake about shoes on Amazon is they have they're like, oh, I don't buy 20,000 or less or 40,000 or less or whatever. Well, what about a 300,000 ranked shoe that has no FBA offers, but has 100 reviews? That's a really good shoe to buy.
Yeah.
It has 100,000 rank, but it's probably ranked poorly because of the supply is off. So a good thing to remember is that, a bad rank with a good supply is truly bad, but a bad rank with a bad supply might be good.
Yeah.
That rank might improve a lot when you get those shoes in stock, because we all know most Amazon customers don't buy unless it's fulfilled by Amazon. So when it's not fulfilled by Amazon, they probably go to the next shoe.
Yeah, you have to do, heavy research when it comes to the FBA part to really make just great purchases. And then with eBay, it's different. That's why I think more people are relatable to that, because you can just, search the
there's less
listings
restrictions too. And
Yeah,
eBay honestly, I feel like Amazon's way easier than eBay because you don't have to take pictures and you don't have to ship inventory if you don't want to. But I understand why there's less of a barrier of entry to start selling on eBay. Anybody watching this can go to Ross, can go to Burlington, can go to a Nike outlet, can be the Hustle Bee tomorrow if you have enough money to invest in shoes. Anybody, no restrictions, go for it. But that being said, there is still a lot of research you have to do. I'm assuming you know a lot of stuff about shoes, because I don't know anything about shoes. I've never owned a pair of Jordans in my life. Sold thousands, never owned a pair. I never really played basketball. I never got into like shoe collect. Like I don't know anything about shoes. Like I have to look up every single one. Like wherever I was selling it, I'd have to look up every single one. But do you possess said shoe knowledge?
Yeah, I can definitely tell right away. Like if I saw a shoe, I can definitely tell if it's like a Kobe or LeBron or a certain colorway, even some of the names of the colorways. So it's pretty, I think that definitely helps me where I don't have to do the extra research part of it,
right.
But it really depends also on, what the market looks like, because that could change from one week to the next.
Right. So some shoes you would buy without looking up anything, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But some other stuff you look up, and maybe even ones you thought were good, but the price was high, you're still going to look those up probably.
Yeah, and just double check to make sure, and you don't want to lose out or just see everything's kind of gone downhill.
Yeah, that's one thing that a lot of the eBay sellers that I have interviewed have said, that a lot of people spend way too much time doing research when they're buying and when they're listing, trying to milk it for like the last dollar and stuff. So at some point, you just got to know your niche, and that helps you to be able to list a lot faster, as well as, of course, source faster.
Yeah, and just not falling in love with like your item. Like other Ross finds are gonna come around, but I think there's sometimes it's like, oh, I can't believe I found this. And then like I really want this amount of money for it. But like you're gonna find more. It's gonna keep going. You kind of have to kind of like, you make your whatever your ROI is gonna be on it. You make your money, you keep going, you're gonna find more. Like don't fall in love with just this one find.
One good tip for everybody that's doing Ross finds or just out hunting for stuff and selling on eBay, and I picked this up from Tony Thrifts on Instagram. She said when she researches an item in the store on eBay and she sees the comps or whatever, and she's like, okay, I'm going to buy this because it's profitable. Most people would just stop right there and they would buy the item, right? And then go home and list it. Well, she goes one step further. She takes the completed item that she looked at. And so the first thing that I heard along this line of tips was screenshot the comp when you see it so that later you have it. But she's like, no, 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 forget screenshotting it. She's like, sell similar and then have a listing drafted ready to go so that when you
Okay.
get home, you already have your listing drafted. That's a
Yeah.
major key. That's huge.
Yeah, if you can do that on I don't know, I'm kind of weird on mobile on eBay, but if you can do it, then definitely if it can
Yeah, so when you see your
save some
comp
time.
that that you're going to buy off of, sell similar, save your draft, and then when you get home, like say you picked up 4 items, you should have 4 drafts. Then you can go finalize those drafts with your pictures, and your better description and better title or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So with Ross
Awesome.
finds, I don't know, I guess it's kind of like I mean that's still doing pretty good. Like I said, merch is probably most of my income. Maybe
How
like
often do you walk out of a Ross empty-handed?
I'd probably say I mean every time I source, I mean it happens.
So what,
Um,
25% of the time? 50% of the time?
um I guess like my example would be like if I go on Tuesday or let's say last week, like last Tuesday I went to like 6 stores, I got like 3 items. And then Wednesday I got nothing the whole day. Thursday I
And
went and then I got
how many
20
stores did you
items.
go to on Wednesday?
Like the same, I usually try to do the same route, like 6 or 7 stores. So
Nice.
like one
Do you have
day,
relations with the stores at all?
I know a couple of workers like the quality control guys in the when you first walk in.
So they will
Um,
maybe will they like help you out at all, or maybe let you know when the new stuff came in?
Um, sometimes they'll let me know. Sometimes they don't even know. Like it's just kind of like, oh yeah, we got a truck today, or we're gonna get a truck tomorrow. But
But you're
sometimes
definitely
they don't
asking for
even
that
know.
information.
Sometimes just depends on
Do
who
you
it is,
know
because
what the delivery schedule is?
they differ. Every store is different.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do you have any competition that you see regularly out there?
not really, but I do know of, I guess they tell me like, oh, some dudes came in right at 8 when they opened and they got this and this. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Because later on, they still haven't maybe put out some merchandise yet. So who really knows until it happens? It's like completely random. It's almost like thrifting, but with new items.
Right. Just a little bit more expensive.
Oh yeah. Yeah, a little bit more
Someone was
expensive.
asking what's ASIN, and I believe it stands for Amazon Standard Inventory Number. If I'm wrong, that's an extremely good acronym I just made up, but you get the deal. Um, so also, besides Ross, you like to shop at a couple other places, right? I know at least Burlington Coat Factory, right?
Yeah, Burlington, Marshalls, DD's Discounts. I'll go there once in a while. Nike Outlet. Those are kind of like the main ones that have very, very similar finds.
I see you posting cleats nonstop. Are you in love with cleats? Is that something you target, or is it just something that pops up on your radar a lot? Like, were you a soccer player, or what's the deal?
I don't even really know much about cleats. Like it didn't really happen until I started noticing like more and more people finding them, and I was like what are these called? Start to like learn the names like Hypervenom and Magista, whatever, and I'm like, what is this? Like even now it's still kind of like getting more knowledge on it because I don't know anything about. Never played soccer. Didn't really care for soccer. I do play basketball, so I do know more like the basketball stuff.
Yeah, I love cleats myself just because at least primarily at Marshall's, which was the first place I went big on sourcing shoes, they seem to price all of the cleats either 17 or $20, no matter what they are. They're either
Yeah.
17 or $20. They're $50 or $70 Under Armours, they're $17. They're $150 Mercurial Phenom, whatever. I don't even know the names of them. They're gonna be $20. So like you
Yeah.
pick up those like those Nike cleats, those over $100, they just look so sexy, and you're just
Oh,
like,
I
oh,
know.
$20, like yay. And I think nowadays everybody plays sports pretty much all year round. Like sports is really competitive. People play indoor. People play, spring, summer, fall. So a lot of people are like, oh, soccer season's out. I'm like, cool. I'm selling them all year round. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I even have sometimes like people like I'll notice that cleats are like shipped to a hotel, and my daughter used to play travel softball. So all I can
Okay.
think is like someone forgot their cleats, they showed up at the hotel, they forgot their cleats, or like, but how beautiful is that of a service to where you're on vacation, you're, hundreds of miles away, you get to the hotel and your cleats are there waiting for you. You know what
Oh,
I
I
mean?
know. Yeah, totally. And different sports at different times. Like the one that we talked about recently in like our out hustled video was like a volleyball shoe. And this volleyball shoe at Ross was 30. I've sold, I think, 6 pairs for like 100 each so far. And it's like a volleyball shoe. I've been like, I would never really have known that people wanted this volleyball shoe, but there it is. Different sports, people need them.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't have even known. What makes a volleyball shoe, by the way?
Oh man, I should have brought them. I have them in the other room. They almost look like basketball shoes. Like they have the same court grip, like for the
Right.
courts on the bottom. Other than that, like they look almost exactly like basketball shoes.
Dynamically engineered for spiking the ball into your opponent's face.
Right?
Someone said Hustle B is a soccer coach now.
Oh yeah, he gets
Is that legit, or is he breaking balls over here?
because he gets made fun of because here's what happened. Like when he used to go and hustle and go to like Ross and stuff, he'd find a whole bunch of cleats, and so he was also like a little bit thinner. So they would ask him like, "Oh, you play soccer?" Blah blah blah. He's like, "Yeah, I'm playing soccer, buying this, blah blah blah." So he'd buy a bunch of cleats. But now that he's like, as he would say, a little bit chubbier now, he has a bunch of cleats, and they're like, "Oh, so you're a soccer coach?" Like they don't see him as a player
It
anymore.
must be all that top ramen, man.
He said he got a lot of heat for that ramen post.
What ramen post?
That he had like a ramen post, I think, on Instagram. So he got a lot of heat for, I
Like
guess, having
saying that
having
ramen
a
was good,
ramen
or saying
diet.
that ramen was bad? I was
No,
just
that it was good.
ramen's hella good, bro. Simpler times. Dude, there's a book called like 100 or whatever ways to make top ramen. Every college kid needs that. Like if you don't know at least 5 to 10 ways to make top ramen, like without reading the packet, like you've never been through the struggle. Like for real, like give me some eggs, give me some soy sauce, you know what I mean? Dry in the bag, old school, freaking grade school status.
Yeah, the college days, it was pretty much just, yeah, I pretty much just put the bag. I don't even use eggs or anything else. I would just straight water in the little packet,
In the packet,
and you're
baby.
good. Yeah.
Dude, if you got to add your own stuff, you got to hit it with the little soy sauce, you know what I mean? Put some cilantro in there.
Oh, there you go.
You got to get creative, man. You can crack an egg in there while it's boiling. You can get all fancy on that. Did you ever eat it like as a kid, like like it was chips though, without even cooking it?
No, no, I never
You
tried
never
that.
did that?
No.
You got to
That's
try it
funny.
someday, bro. Take like half of the seasoning packet, crunch out the thing, put like half of the seasoning packet in, shake those things. That's called ghetto snacks.
Oh man, there we go. What does it say? Like Gary says, eat shit for 10 years.
Exactly.
Gotta be on the
That
grind.
that shit might be top ramen. I'm eating a little bit better now. I got that Trader Joe's frozen pizza.
Oh, there we go. Trader Joe's, they getting a little fancy.
Oh yeah, bro. A little fancy. It's still not that good, but it's a little bit better.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little bit, bro. I don't cook, man. A lot of people don't realize that, but I've been married since I was 15, so I never had to cook. Like I literally went from being in high school to having a wife, and my wife is Mexican and she makes delicious food. So
There you go.
I don't know how to cook anything. I'll run the grill like lightweight, but I'm not
So,
cooking anything.
so how do you keep that Reezy thin figure?
Dude, I'm actually gaining weight finally. Now that I'm 33, I gained an inch to my waist. I've been like a 30-inch waist forever. And I have a bunch of 30-inch pants, and now my 30-inch pants are a little bit tight, so I'm favoring my 32-inch dickies. But skateboarding really is just skateboarding, and then just being super ADD, and like coffee and ADD. Like I don't like to start working so much. So when I start working, I really don't want to stop. And so I'll skip a meal all the time when I'm working. I'm just like, nope,
Yeah.
I don't want to eat. It's going to slow me down. Like, not only am I going to have to stop what I'm doing right now, which will slow me down, once I start digesting the food, my energy is going to go like through the floor to the basement. And
Yeah.
so I skip meals all the time. So usually I'll have either breakfast or lunch, never both, and then dinner. But skateboarding is the only exercise that I do, which I need to do a lot more of. So I'm
And
not going to be so skinny. I'm coming through with the Homer Simpson belly next year.
well, that's one of the bad things about merch because like it's fun to go out there and try to find stuff for eBay and Amazon or whatever if you're sourcing and you're constantly moving
Yeah, at
around.
least
But
you can jog from your car to the store, right? And then on the way back with your bags of stuff, you can curl them, instead of just carrying them, you can curl them, get in your workout.
yeah, and then now, I mean, if you're coming back to merch, that's the only thing I kind of hated because it reminded me of like my full time, career days where I was just like sitting at my desk designing stuff, and next thing you're munching on stuff you shouldn't be eating with chips and I don't know what else, and then you're just gaining weight per second.
Here's a good question, Glenn. Who do you look up to in the reseller community?
Man, who do I look up to? That's
Or who inspires you? Or there's a lot of them, like it's your question. I'm not going to answer it.
I can say that I guess it's kind of like change. I know in the very beginning, the only people I really saw kind of doing, I guess, hustle type videos was like Bonafide and Rakin. And that kind of, I guess, inspired me to do my own because I figured I can do my own in a different way. And so that kind of
Weren't you
like,
associated with them for some point in time or something?
I mean, I was never like, I mean, I was part of the green room because I first I joined, I think maybe like my first year when I really got serious in reselling. And I did some designs and stuff for them. So we kind of like designs back and forth and for like tips and other stuff. We just kind of like helped each other out rather than paying for each other for different stuff. But I was never really like an admin or anything like that.
For some reason, I thought you were involved with them for the longest time.
Oh, okay. No, just kind of like part in the group and I still talk to them and stuff. And so they kind of like, I guess I would say in the beginning. Now in this case, things have totally changed. I think there's like so many, of course, different, people in the reseller community, but I personally like people that are doing things outside of the box. Like in my case, looking at it, like I think Nicole's doing something totally different than no one else is doing. And those are the things that I
Right.
like to see. Like not the same stuff. I know in this case right now we're sitting here talking, but I can't watch other YouTubers that are just sitting in front of the computer talking forever. Like I
Right.
can't do it. If it's once a week, cool. Like I do once a week. I know you do once a week, but if it's like every day, like
Yeah. I kind of dislike that too when people are like, let me well, I'm going to make a video showing you the top 10 shoes that sold last week on eBay or what, you know what I mean? It's just
yeah,
like it's not it's informational, but at the same time I can't watch stuff that's not it has to be informational and packed with some type of character, some humor, something. You know what I mean? That's why I really try to
yeah,
make my videos at least funny, also informing. Obviously I've been doing a lot of family type stuff, which is kind of where I want to go to with my content. Just it has more longevity. Like I'm always going to help people and stuff, but I want to, I feel like that's relevant. That's like why, at least for me, that's relevant. That's why I hustle, right? Because if I was like a bachelor, like I don't know what I would be doing. I might just be partying. I might be like my channel might be a whole lot different and be like, oh, I made all this money. Now let's go blow it at a party. Like,
yeah,
um,
it'd be totally different.
but
That's
I am super
podcast.
proud of Nicole and I am excited for the future of the States crates. And I hope it works out for her long term because how cool is that, just to change the game, just to take used clothing in a whole different vector, like you said, some way that no one else is doing, and why wouldn't that work? I could see lots of, for one, her audience is a lot of her audience is not actually resellers. They're people that just like to see what she got, or they buy from her, even directly based off of her haul videos. So that makes perfect sense, that it's like people who want to thrift but don't have time or can't get out to thrift, or not necessarily resellers, just people who want to buy a dress for $10,
Yeah, that's what I was kind of asking Hustlebee about it. I was like, so who buys States crates? And I was like, is it resellers or just people that are like on her fan base? And I think he was like, I think it's like a mixture of both, but more of like the fan base. I think that
Yeah, it's her fan
buys
base,
it.
and then people that are just outside of the fan base, because she got that promo on Forbes. And then also there's like a thing where there's some kind of recurring promo type thing where every 3 people you refer, you get 1 free month or something.
Oh, okay.
So that like keeps the people coming in or whatever. But I don't see why it wouldn't work. And honestly, it's a great thing to do. I mean, Lord knows there's a bazillion pounds of clothing that are wearable and usable, that are profitable, that are just getting thrown away every day, and filling up the landfill.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. And as far as the reseller community, I think the ones that really do things differently are the ones that are pretty much going to stay for the long term in the long run. Like you can't do the same stuff over and over and over again. And so that's what I think is really going to be the big difference. So even for next year, the same thing, kind of like what you were saying, like we want to put out more content. How are we going to do that? Finding the time, and also something that's worth doing. So like I have a podcast with Yang, but I don't have my own. So I would eventually want to do my own, but I don't want it to go on for hours and stuff. Like I want it to be maybe like good 30 minutes or something. I think it makes sense.
Yeah, that's a good one. So I recently took the Jump Cut YouTube course.
Oh, okay.
It's like $1,000, well worth it. But yeah, information products are great, guys. But one thing, I picked up several nuggets from them, but one thing that stands out a lot to me is that I kind of just assume that my viewers watch me already, and that's not going to grow your audience, right? So I'm now taking more effort to not act like you don't know who I am, but in case you don't know who I am or what I do, I want to include that type of information in every single video. So like, hey guys, what's up guys? We're about to go into this store. It's Black Friday. And if you didn't know, I make a living buying and selling stuff on eBay and Amazon. And on my channel, I teach other people how to do it. And today we're going to go into Black Friday or whatever, Best Buy, whatever. Just some kind of context that is more drawing for a first-time viewer,
Yeah, they know what they're watching, what they're getting
Right.
themselves into.
Right, to keep it going a little bit more, and then also titling your videos. Like I just last night, I finished up the course, and one of the things was saying that their example was that, like, okay, so New York Times or some NBC had a news channel on YouTube, and they would literally post their titles of their YouTube videos at first would be like 12/11/27 news of the day. And then the next one would be 12/11/28 news of the day or whatever, like the date and news of the day. And that's it. And you literally, that is basically invisible to the average person after a while because it's so repetitive.
Yeah.
And so I realized that I was doing that on my videos by having it Reezy Talks number 32, Reezy Talks number 33, and then the guest name and some whatever. So on this video that you're watching, or if you're listening to it, whatever, the YouTube title is Merch by Amazon with Hustler Hacks, whatever else I wrote at Reezy Talks number 38, which is makes much more sense to me now. I don't know why I didn't click before, but there's all these little things that you have to do to optimize your videos to get more views, better titles, better thumbnails, engaging the viewer more, addressing the possible first-time viewer. All these different things are going to hopefully help me to grow my YouTube channel, further, because I want to eventually make more of like a lifestyle channel where I'm always going to be helping people out and like teaching them, but I want to you know, I don't think there's much longevity in that. You know, what am I going to do? In
Yeah.
1 year, I could make every video. I could make every video I could ever make in like 3 months. And
Yeah.
and so what are you going to do for a year? Am I going to go start over? Like essentially, I feel like I could go back into the videos I made the year before and just remake them and then keep going off that, you know? But I feel like there's no progression in that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, and we're kind of like I mean, it's a kind of like a smaller niche, but everybody's kind of doing things differently, and like I like the case like what you're talking about and where you want to take it. In my case, I want to take it more of like maybe story type stuff to where I was struggling with student loans, like how to pay off that kind of stuff, and not less and less Ross finds because people obviously like that, but maybe just like a different way, I guess, to kind of tell more of a
yeah.
story rather than
Exactly. That's kind of what I want to do too. I kind of want to be like with my channel. I want to show, you know, I want to show my lifestyle and like what I'm doing with my family. And then I want to like reference my backstory and like where I was and like this is how I got here. This is how I have the ability to do what I want to do. Is through this. Not necessarily let me show you how to make 1 million. Let me show you how to make 10 million. Just let me make it blatantly obvious to you that there's a lot of opportunity out there online that you can make money and you can change your life. And I dropped out of high school in 10th grade, had a kid, grew up on food stamps, welfare. Like, I know there's a lot of people that had it worse than me, but there's a lot of people that had it better than me too that don't understand, like, you know, what they can do or where they can go. And maybe you don't want to, you know, but just let me guide you and show you that like you can get there, you can take it wherever you want, but let me like show you the opportunities and then what you can do from there, you know. And on top of that, like, yeah, you can do social media too, which I recommend anybody to do that has the possibility inside of them. You know, you can do YouTube, you can do podcasts, you can write a blog, you know, but none of that's going to happen if you don't have some free time. You need to own your time. That's most important. And you can do that by hustling and grinding, thrift stores, eBay, Amazon, whatever it is, Mercari, Poshmark, Etsy, merch by Amazon, whatever it is. There's a million ways to get it. Let me show you a couple of them. Pick which one, you know, works best for you, um, and then grow from there. You know.
yeah, and there's just so much opportunity out there, and maybe you'll relate to a couple of different YouTubers, and maybe you don't relate to some other ones, but find the ones that you do, because I think you can relate. I think the storytelling is probably the most important part of it, and who you relate to, and how you can excel in your own, your own journey. So I
Yeah,
think,
definitely. So I definitely started thinking about my titles in a more, also to try and make videos that are more shareable, right? Because if you think about a Ross find, that's a great video. People like that. Your followers like that, but is it shareable? Not really. It's
yeah,
not
not
something that they're
really.
going to share and then other people on their Facebook feed is going to want to watch, you know? But I saw you did a video, or at least on other people's channels or something, like how I um, paid off my $50,000 in student loan debt reselling stuff from Ross or whatever. That is
Mhm.
highly shareable. That's
Yeah,
emotional. A lot of people have $50,000 in student loan debt, and the average person who doesn't sell or give a crap about what shoe you found can appreciate the general nature of making money by going into a retail store.
yeah, exactly. So that really kind of relates them. They can kind of look at that, and it was just kind of like a story, so they can kind of
Yeah,
build off of that. So I think
but
it's good.
those aspects, story, emotional hook, shareability. Like, I'm gonna make a video, an idea that I had. I want to make a video called "You're gonna end up in prison," and it's basically my dad was in prison. If you guys don't know, when I was growing up, and I was super neglected, and I actually heard that many times from people that supposedly cared about me. You're gonna end up in prison, just like your dad. You know, you keep messing up and acting around. You know, you're gonna end up in prison. Like all this stuff, and so
Yeah,
the video is basically it's just a story of my life, kinda, but it's just to an empowering story with an emotional hook to just let people know that, like, no, you don't have to listen to what people say about you, and you're not a product of your future is not a product of your past, let alone your parents' past. You know what I mean? We have options and opportunities, so like, don't let people discourage you. You know, just do you.
yeah. We should get some Reezy reenactments. Like, who would play you?
Damn. I don't know, someone, maybe that dude from the Lord of the Rings, that really short dude.
All right, in the live chat, who would play Reezy in the
Yeah,
reenactment.
who
Let
would
us
play
know.
Reezy? Who was it? I don't think he's short enough, but Daniel Day-Lewis. I'd hire him.
I'll hire him. Casey says Tom Cruise.
The budget's no option. Someone said Tom Cruise. I didn't even see that. I wonder if my chat's lagging.
Oh man! So you get
Based
these,
on,
yeah. We can get the
based on the
Reezy.
lagability of today. Oh, now I get it. Casey Snipes, Tom Cruise. That's funny. Leo, Schmeagol. My precious. That gave me a funny idea to make a Lord of the Rings thrifting reenactment.
There we go. See,
You
now we're
you
talking
find
about.
some crazy shoe at Ross and you're like, my precious.
Now we're getting creative.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
This
So
is
thanks
so
for the
funny.
ideas from Nicole. Now I'm gonna have Hustle Bundle coming out very, very soon. Just kidding.
The hustle bundle, why not, bro?
Oh, there you
For
go. I'm
those of
just
you
gonna
that would
jam
like
a whole
Ross
bunch of stuff
finds
from
but
Ross.
can't for those of you that would like Ross finds but don't have a Ross or can't make it to Ross, we're here to help you.
Exactly. Which would be ridiculously high in price because you would have to combine a whole bunch of different items that are not going to be cheap, like it is thrifting.
It's the 100 pairs of shoes bundle.
Yeah, it's got the Reezy bundle. Yeah, they're gonna have to be super pricey. Oh, you're gonna do a
Yeah.
book bundle. They want you to do book bundles.
I got it. I got you. For $35 a month, I'll send you 10 business books a month. You can read them.
But you can't
Learn.
resell them.
No. When you're done, you have to send them back to me so I can sell them again.
So they're pretty much renting it.
Yeah, basically.
Casey says Seth Green.
Seth Green.
Yeah.
That's funny. The craziest thing just happened. I'm sitting up here and my mouse started taking off because I record these in my bedroom upstairs. If I was turn the camera 90 degrees, you'd see my messy bedroom. But downstairs is where my normal work desk is, and my mouse just started like going crazy on my computer, and like icons were getting taken off my taskbar and everything. And I was like, what is going on? And I realized that Luna must be down at my desk right now playing with my mouse. So I just disabled my Bluetooth. Things are better now.
All right, there we go.
Someone said Smalls from Sandlot.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Sorry for the loud laugh. What's with all these damn books?
Oh man, that'd be classic.
Oh my god, Reezy L. Jackson.
So when do you plan on knocking, I guess, getting to more content, like 2018, or you're preparing now, or?
I actually am. I've already started my takeover. I'm one step ahead of you. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I hired a video editor from the Philippines. So I got a video editor off of onlinejobs.ph for $4 an hour. And I went through maybe 100 resumes, and this guy happened to reply to my initial request, which included a link to 2 of my videos saying I want them like this. And his reply was like, "Oh, I like your videos. It reminds me of Casey Neistat." And I was like, "Oh, you watch his videos?" And he was like, "Yeah, I love Casey's videos." And I was like, "Boom, you're hired." So from there, I had other people that were maybe a little bit more talented, but I don't know if they were in touch with what I wanted, and they might have wanted more. They wanted like $8 an hour, which is ridiculous for the Philippines. So I figured that it would be better to go with someone who was interested. And also this person happened to be the first person, like when I gave everyone a demo folder of clips. He gave me from his initial contact to replying with his sample was like 8 hours. So he made it right away. Whereas some people didn't reply for like 3 days with their sample video. So by the time those people have replied 3 days later with their sample, he's already made 2 revisions to his video. And then I ended up just going, hey, this is good. I could post this on YouTube. And so I hired him on, and he's getting better, which is great. So I showed him, so here's some kind of music I like. Now he puts music on videos, and I like the music every time, and it's new music from new artists on SoundCloud that I've never heard of or whatever. So it's great. And for me, that was very hard for me to do because I really, really like editing videos. But I I had to realize what was stopping me from producing more content, because I need to produce more content, and the editing videos was it. Like, if all I had to do was edit a video every day, I'm sure I could do it, and I would get faster to where I could do them in 2 to 3 hours. But I have so much more stuff to do that in order for me to put more content out at a higher volume, I needed to hire someone to help. And it was hard for me. But I think I realized, like, I like editing videos, but why do I like editing videos? Because I like to share them with people. And if I get more videos, I can share them with people more. And like,
Yeah.
maybe it's only 80% what I would like, or 90% or whatever, but I'm okay with that. For more videos. So it's painful for me, but yeah, I hired a video editor. So every video I've posted since the Szechuan sauce video was edited by my video editor. So that's like 4 or 5 videos ago or
Okay.
whatever. But it's way better for me. In the Philippines, they work different. The schedule is opposite of us. So when I'm going to bed, he's waking up, and when I wake up, I have a video done, and then I just give him, a bunch of folders of different days that I've vlogged, and then he makes the video, and it's either good the first time or definitely good on the second revision. So
Yeah.
huge weight off my shoulders. I don't know, maybe I'll go back to editing my videos in the future, but for now, I think that's going to be the key for me. Kind of, my friend Garrett has 500,000 subs on YouTube, and he not only has a video editor, he has a filmer that films every day. I don't know what he pays the kid or what their deal is, but anywhere's like a lavalier mic pretty much 8 hours a day, because he's being filmed, right? And that's his better sound quality.
Yeah.
And I know, I met a kid in a coffee shop randomly who's the video editor for Cameron Dallas. That's his
Oh, okay.
full-time job, just talking to him at the cafe. And I kind of realized that if you want to take it serious and make it like a job, that might be one of the things to do. Like, I don't know. Going forward, I might change it, but for now, I think it's going to help me to put, 3 to 4 edited videos out a week.
Yeah, and kind of like we talked about earlier, it's like you have to really have the content heavy stuff. And even if you go back to Gary's videos, like when he started Ask Gary V, he started to crank them out every day, like I guess like Monday through Friday. And that's where you could really tell he had traction. Because before that, he just kind of had like random like videos where he just talked about certain things for like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, like random little rants. And it was just like, okay, but he didn't really have a lot of traction built up. You can even see the views now. There's like not a lot. But once like Ask Gary V came and he was doing it every day, then you really saw it to like snowball up. So that's like our next step.
And he tries a lot of stuff too, honestly. If you follow Gary Vee and you watch what he does, he tries and experiments a lot of stuff. So recently he said, "Hey guys, Ask Gary Vee is no more on YouTube. It's only going to be on Facebook now."
Yeah.
And personally, I think now we put it back on YouTube.
Yeah.
But personally, I think he planned to put it back on YouTube all along. And that was probably just the strategy to say, hey, guys, if you want to watch it, it's only on Facebook TV, whatever it's called now. Go to the Facebook TV page and like that, because it's going to be your only way to watch it. So, he at least got a diehard audience of followers to go boost up the Gary V TV page.
Yeah.
And then after a while, then he brought it, when that slowed down and tapered off, he put it back to YouTube. And then it was like, not only was it back, but it got a little boost because it was like, welcome back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he has 2 channels. A lot of people don't know that there's the Daily V channel, and then there's the Ask Gary V channel. And the Ask Gary V channel used to be called Entrepreneurship Answered.
That's right.
And they've done rebranding on it. They changed it to the Ask Gary V thing. They put the shows going forward on there. But I think if you go back, the Daily V channel was called Ask Gary V.
Mm-hmm.
And then there is Ask Gary V's on that channel if you go back far enough. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think so. But just like look at, I was just looking at his channel the other day because I use it for, I watch what he does, not necessarily what he says all the time or whatever. But I was seeing that, Gary Vee has videos that are like 2 weeks old that only have 4,000 views. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, you can't be, like, that's like amount of views that me or you would get, and so a lot of people are like, well, I only got this many views. Like, dude, look how many subscribers he has, and he has 4,000 views on those videos, like the Ask Gary V channel, I think, has like 85,000 subscribers or something, just around 100,000. And obviously the Daily V channel has much more, you know?
Yeah. And there's even times too where like if D-Rock just has the, I don't know, like they're just both sitting there in the office and it's just like a time lapse, like I just can't watch those. Like I just feel like there's like nothing really going on. And Gary Vee says it himself, like those are boring videos, like, and they are, but compared to him going to like Complex Con, like I want to watch that, but I really don't care for him just kind of sitting in the office. So it's kind of like
Right.
different content and what you choose, but
Exactly. Well, because he just realized, he tested it and he realized that vlogs work for YouTube, which
oh
is
yeah,
which is why I like doing vlogs too, is because for one, it's fun. For two, and this might be the most important thing, I like watching them. It reminds me of my day, my family, what we did, what I did. Like I will watch it. And that's
yeah.
important to me. Like I'd share it with people. I would never finish a Reezy Talks and go downstairs and say, "Oh, dang, babe, that was a fire show. You need to watch this." No, I'll never watch this again. My wife will not be asked to watch this, but I will ask her to watch the vlogs, of which I have one that I'm going to post after this show ends. Been too busy to post it all day. I should have posted it way earlier. But and that's very important for me. And I just seen so many people are successful in the vlog space, and they started with one thing, like, you know, what was your one thing that hooked people into watching you and getting to know you and becoming your fan? And then from there, you just become a vlogger. You know, you can travel and just make traveling videos, or it's happened again and again and again. So why is it not possible that it could happen with me or Glenn? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So um, I think everybody likes making videos. I mean, I guess not everybody, but the people that do really do. Like, I really enjoy. I wish I could just make YouTube videos. If I could just make YouTube videos and I didn't have to also work, meaning like buying and selling stuff, I would fully do that. I don't know if other people would say the same or if they feel comfortable saying that or whatever. But for me, there's nothing more fun than creating content and sharing it with people and then having them respond positively to it. I just can't explain it. Like, I don't enjoy boxing stuff up and sending it off to Amazon. I enjoy finding stuff, but with Amazon, it's not always like that. But I never ever think of YouTube or Instagram or being on social media as a job. And I could easily just burn a whole day, like just on Instagram, replying to DMs or commenting or just whatever, like on Twitter. Like it's really fun for me.
And that's what I think is like the difference also, like with me and Ken, like going to different cities, like now we're making it a point that we're going to do a meetup at every city we go to. So now you get to meet with the people that actually do watch you or your conversation with them through DMs, emails, and like meeting people in person is like the best thing. Like whether it's a conference or a meetup, it's just like a totally different experience, especially from the people that you meet that are like, thanks, you helped me do this. Like that's not a feeling that everybody's ever gonna have, and like that's like the biggest part of it, that like it's just an awesome feeling.
It's crazy, right? You go out and meet people and they won't let you pay for your food. They're like, "No, I got this." And you're like, "No, no, 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 I got this, man." And they're like, "No, they're like, they're going to beat you up if you don't let them pay for your food.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah.
So you just mentioned traveling out with Ken, which is the hustle bee if you've been sleeping under a rock. But what's that all about? You guys doing? You traveling around? Let them know.
So yeah, right now it's just Out Hustled is what we're calling our like mini series. First we went to Houston, Dallas area, and then we went to Chicago. And so next we are working on California for the third one, which we're trying to get all that done for January. We want to go to like northern, maybe we'll go to like,
I'm assuming you're going to go to LA area, yeah?
yeah, first we want to probably start off at like maybe San Fran area, maybe San Jose, and then we'll go
Oh,
to
we're
like
gonna have to do a
LA.
meetup, bro.
Oh yeah, for sure. So it'd be like both, like half and half, so we can at least see both of those. But we're just trying to figure all that out. We want to go somewhere at least once a month, and just definitely the meetup part, I think, was like obviously
So
the
what
best
are
part of
you,
the whole
you
thing.
guys are both eBay sellers. How are you guys divvying up the loot? I don't get it.
So when we go, for example, the I think we ended up finding like 12 or 15 pairs of like those volleyball shoes. So in that case, yeah, we're gonna spend the same amount. They're all of them are 32.99, and then he'll only take like a certain size, and then I'll take the other sizes. So like we'll never compete with each other. So another one was like jerseys. If it's the same player, like we'll do like a coin flip on like, okay, well there's like small, medium, large, extra large. Okay, well let's see who decides. Like if I win the toss, I'll pick a large. I'll get but if you get large, you have to get all of the large. You can't separate them because then we're just gonna compete.
Right, which is
So
never good.
so we would just want to make sure that we kind of split it half to we're not competing with each other, and it's been working out good.
Nice. So you guys are actually paying for whatever is yours and deciding while you're at the stores.
Yeah, so we'll do all the calculations too, see how much we spent, go half and half on everything, and then at the
And then
very end we kind of
you each are shipping them back to your house.
it depends on what it is. So in the last one, I was able to fill up like both of the suitcases, especially if they're brand new without the box. I can squeeze in quite a bit, like Southwest, 2 free bags or whatever, so I can squeeze in as many
Yeah.
possible.
I don't know
But
what kind of clothes you like to rock, but for me, I'd be like, well, I'm throwing away my clothes.
yeah, I gotta make as much room as possible, and I think there's like 50-pound limit on both. So there's some room in there, but the first one, yeah, we shipped back maybe like 4 boxes each or something.
Where is
Um,
Ken from? Is he from California?
he's from Ohio, so he's kind of like in the Cleveland area.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I don't know why I thought he was from California.
Yeah.
You said Southwest, and I just recently got my Southwest Companion Pass, so I'm super hyped for 2018.
Oh, there we go.
Who's coming with me? For
Tell
real.
him,
They
come to the live chat.
Southwest should just borrow that piece from Half Baked. Who's coming with me? And then use that to promote the companion passes. But I got a companion pass for free. Basically, it was a promo they were running just for Californians, where if you signed up for a Southwest credit card, got approved, and made a purchase before the end of November, you got a companion pass for a year, which means that people can fly with me, and all I have to pay is like $6.
Nice. That's a really, really good deal. Especially, you said California only?
Yeah, it was only for California residents. Anybody can get a companion pass if they get over 100,000 miles, I think in a calendar year or something. I'm not sure about that. But
Okay.
it's a beautiful thing, right? Now I just need to figure out where I'm going and who's coming with me.
And Brian says, yeah, I looked cold in Chicago. Yeah, it was like super cold. I went from like super hot in El Paso. I was like 80 something to 90 something. And I went to Chicago. I think at night it was like 13 degrees and it started snowing. And I was
Did you
like,
dress for Chicago like before you got on the plane, or were you still wearing Dallas attire?
no, I was, yeah, I put on quite a bit of like, I started to get hot in there. But then once I actually got outside, I was like nice and bundled up. So I was good.
Nice. Yeah. I'm actually going to Hawaii for 2 weeks, starting the 20th to the 3rd or whatever. We're going to do the holidays in Hawaii and just kick back after Q4.
Nice.
But I've been there a couple times, and I learned my lesson. Like, like one time I went, I brought like 2 pairs of shoes, 3 pairs of pants, like all this, like a sweater. Like, dude, I don't care how cold it is in San Jose. I get on the airport in shorts and slippers and then just go. And when you show up, you're perfect.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, that's cool. At least you get to take a little break.
Yeah, definitely.
Q4,
Definitely.
a little break after that. So that'll be good.
Q4 break, baby, baby.
And Nicole's also traveling. We're doing kind of the travel thing. You just got the pass, so I think that's one of the biggest things too. Is just trying to like get around and meet people. Like,
We
is a
should do it.
huge
We should
part.
try to get together, like me, you, Nicole, maybe any other YouTuber resellers that want to get involved, that are also cool.
Go
It's
on
not
tour.
not you, whoever you're watching that's not cool, but just cool people and chill fam. And then yeah, go on tour or at least like meet up at a couple spots, like because I just think that's a cool draw for people. They watch us, and then how cool is that? Like Nicole personally, she told me a lot of her fans were asking about me or like where's Reezy or like whatever, and so she's like, you got to come with me. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll ask the wife, see what she says, you know. And but like, how cool would that be if there was like 5 YouTubers, you know, in one thing, you know? That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, and I think that's probably like one of the only things with, unfortunately, like the reseller community we have. Like, I mean, there's different, I guess, kind of groups, but at the same time, I think it's also what people are into, and I think everyone's just kind of selling different stuff. FBA or eBay. Some people are like going, you know, super hard on thrifting, and then some people go, you know, the Amazon, the Ross Marshalls thing. So that's another thing, kind of thing too. But I think if you mix them in good, you can actually learn from everybody. Then
Yeah,
that's
there's
where
a
it's like,
million ways to get it. I mean, even unless you live in the same town as someone and you also have the exact same business model, they're not really competition. You know what I mean? If
yeah,
you lived in my town and you sold only books, then maybe we would have a problem. But or if you did RA. So I have a friend that I turned on to reselling. He was a follower, now he's a friend. His name's Pat, and he used to live only 10 miles away from me. Thank God he moved like 30 miles away. So now he lives like 40 minutes away, and so we're like best friends slash mortal enemies. But you know, we just try to go, you know, we let each other know, you know, if I'm going anywhere in between here and there, I'll ask him like, "Hey, have you been to these Targets, to these Rosses, to these Marshalls?" And he'll let me know. And same thing, you know, or if I'm like, dude, there's this stuff, but I can't make it over there, you better make it over there, you know. Or, you know, if Brick Seek says that the stores by him has this or that, you know, I'll let him know, you know, like I'll check my store and then I'll check his store too, and then just send him a text, you know what I mean? So it's like
yeah,
you're competing, but at the same time, there's plenty of meat on the bone for everybody. And hopefully you have some mutual respect there to where people, you know what I mean? It's like
yeah,
if we are in the same area and I walk into Ross and you're there already, I will just leave because I'm like, hey, Glen's already here. For one, I want to respect the man and let him get his Ross finds on. For two, I got to hurry up and get to the next Ross before Glen gets there.
yeah. I kind of like that's. I mean, there's plenty of meat on the bone for the people that want it.
Right.
And
Exactly.
yeah, and if you don't want it, then yeah, you're gonna find a couple of things here and there. You're gonna slowly get away from it, and then you probably won't even do it anymore.
Exactly. And that's the thing too that I tell people why it's smart to diversify your knowledge, like have more knowledge, know about different stuff because maybe you walk in and Glenn's already there and he got all the shoes, but do you know, did he check out the accessories in Ross area or the toys area? Maybe you might find, you know, a year and a half old Power Ranger Megazord that's, you know, $40 and it's going for 150 because you know how Ross pulls out the stuff that you're like, dude, how do you even have this? This is 3 years
Yeah,
old, right? Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm talking about, right? You'll pull up some shoes and you're like, dude, this is like a coveted shoe from 3 years ago.
yeah,
How did I find this? Like, and there's not even dust on it. What is going on?
yeah. And women's section is the biggest section in Ross, and it's probably like the least knowledge that I have. And if you have that knowledge, then you know you could take full advantage and have your own, you know, section for eBay and Ross, and you can already do everything with that. And I just don't really know much about it, but you can build it up.
Right. You could do anything. Anything's possible, man. That's what I love about the internet, man. It provides so many opportunities, so much possibilities, so much. Like I'll never forget how I felt one day when I was getting my tires changed and I'm on my phone at, you know, running through my social media tasks and I seen a guy come in and apply for a job, literally fill out a job application to work at the tire place.
Yeah.
And all I could think in my head was that like dude was a caveman. Like this is so outdated. Like, is this real? Like for real? Like you just fill out a job application? Like that seems like that's from the 80s.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what happens when you're kind of like out of touch and stuff.
Yeah, like I hear this too, like, cause I'm in retail stores all the time. Like sometimes people will ask, like, want to fill out a job like Toys R Us, I think, for example. Like, I want to fill out an application. They're like, it's all online.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
online. Well, I don't have a computer. Well, I guess you ain't gonna get a job.
I think that I don't have a computer is like kind of like a non-existent excuse even at this point. Because I mean, you can go to your local library. You can go to
Right.
you know,
Can you believe that though? People still say that the internet's not for me. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Dang,
This
I'm looking
is
extra white. Those arms down, get my auto balance back. I prefer to look pink over white. You gotta have some kind of blood to your skin tone.
That's funny. Brian asked, "What would I grade the Chicago stores?" And Chicago was tough because you know what happened was we didn't have this scheduled for that to happen, but the Nike Friends and Family ended up being the week right before we went. And so like one of the like most of the Nike outlets were like, yeah, well, we had like our better, of course, sale last week with this and this was here, this and this is here. And I was like, oh man, you got to be kidding me. But when we originally planned it and we bought the tickets for it, Friends and Family wasn't supposed to be until 2 weeks after we were gonna be there. So we were hoping that it was gonna be better, but I would probably grade it between a B and a C when we went. But also has to do with timing.
What's your favorite area to source that you've been to? You only went to 2 places so far, right?
Yeah, we've only been to 2 places so far. Other
That's kind
places
of a
that I've
loaded
been to.
question. How was Dallas?
Oh yeah, well Dallas was way better than Houston. That was for sure.
Where do you live
Um,
at?
I live in El Paso, Texas.
No. What's your address?
I
I'm
was
just
like,
kidding.
well,
I'm just
my
kidding.
home address. Just kidding. And but yeah, Dallas was way better than Houston. I also sourced it in Las Vegas. Las Vegas was actually pretty good too.
Right? I feel like Vegas
Yeah,
would be good. Like, just, a lot of people, general area, but a lot of people are busy, caught up with, the Vegas stuff. Books are probably pretty good in Vegas. I would imagine like a lot of people ordering books when they're in Vegas and then leaving, and just leaving everything.
yeah, and I think Vegas just full potential. Phoenix, I also did source there. There was a lot of resellers there, competition wise. And California, the only thing people are kind of like letting me know is with traffic, because in Dallas we hit like 30 stores in one day. They're like, that's not gonna happen like in
Nope.
California.
Never, bro. Because I'm from Northern California, so I didn't really realize it, but I'll be in Southern California for like softball tournaments for my daughter the last couple years.
Yeah.
And I'll be looking at something and it'll be like 2 hours in between games. And I'll be like, I'm going to go here. And then I'm like, it's only 12 miles. And they're like, bro, you'll never make it back in time. I'm like, it's 12 miles. How am I not going to make it? I can make it back and forth 8 times, 10 times. And they're like, no, it's going to take you 45 minutes to go 12 miles. And I'm like, damn, for real?
Yeah, that's the only thing they're kind of warning us about is there's no way you're gonna hit 30 stores in one day when you go over there. So
I still don't know how you hit 30 stores. Let's break it down real quick. 30 stores in how many hours?
I think at the time we probably started right at 8 a.m. when they opened.
And you ended when? I'm going to get my calculator out. Hold
I
on.
think we ended at about 10 or 11.
So let's give you the benefit of the doubt. 11. So that's 14 hours.
Okay.
14 on the deck. Divided by 30 stores. 0.46 hours in every store, including traveling.
Including traveling, which is probably
That's
like
insane. That's insane. Less than 30 minutes per store traveling. So you must have walked in and out of a lot of stores then.
yeah, what we did was it's almost like let's see what they have. Let's go for the stuff that we already know so
Cleats
that we
and
can
stuff.
cover more ground. So that whatever stores we have left that maybe we haven't hit yet, then we can eventually go back like the third day. But as far as traffic went, it was just like straight freeways, toll roads that were just quick. Like especially Houston, like it was just getting around super quick compared to Chicago. Chicago took forever compared to those other cities.
That's so impressive, though. 30 stores in one day. I don't think I've ever been in 30. I think a lot of people have never been in 30 stores in one day.
Yeah, it was exciting, like all 30 of them, but also at some point it's like, okay, we gotta eat, we gotta figure that out. Like even if it's
I
something
can't even
drive
believe
through
you
quick.
also ate. You also ate.
Yeah, it was just like drive through quick. We couldn't really like sit and chill.
That's insane. That
Yeah.
might be a world record for most stores shopped in one day. Did you call Guinness?
We should, at least Ross's, right? At least get like the Ross record.
Yeah. No, I'm serious. Like, who shops at 30 stores in one day? I get mad if I'm going out for something and I have to go to like 2 places. Like, you know how you like get something and then your girl will be like, "Can you go pick up this?" And you're like, I was already halfway home.
Yeah.
Then you go back
Yeah.
and you're like 3 stores. You're like, that took 3 hours. Like, you guys must have been insanely focused. Were you guys like keeping time while you were doing it, or like did you forecast how much time it would take you to do that? Did you know going out you were gonna try and do 30 stores?
Yeah, Ken had it mapped out like what are the nearest ones and what's like the best route to hit so that we can hit 30. So instead of just kind of going all over the place or like, oh, this one's kind of near, it's like, nah, you have to go this route and follow the whole trail to make sure you can hit it. So
He charted the route like a pilot.
yeah, pretty much. He had everything good, ready to go.
Was there any situations where you like showed up and you're like, there's no Ross here, or like they're closed, or like, dude, this isn't a Ross, this is Ross corporate? Like, anything weird happen?
Trying to remember. I don't think nothing like that happened with the Rosses. I think one time we were looking at the map and then Burlington also has like a baby depot, which is like separate.
Yeah.
So we had to like really research it. Like, are you sure that's like an actual Burlington or is it just like a stupid baby depot? And then sure enough, it was like a baby depot. So we couldn't just, all right, knock that off the map. And then
You were not trying to get no baby cleats?
yeah, no baby cleats.
Awesome. So, so you just put out Hustled 2, yeah?
Yeah.
And this is the one with the Stranger Things style, yeah? Or was
Yeah,
that
I
just
made
a
the
promo?
trailer. Yeah, it was pretty much just for the like the promo, the kind of like the Stranger Things, because it was like kind of like battling snow and being, I guess it got dark kind of quick too. Because Chicago was already like 4 o'clock, it was already getting dark. It was just kind of like not only that, but this one was like totally different finds from the last one. We kind of struggled more on this one, so it's kind of like a more of us like as a battle. So yeah, I made the trailer more of like a Stranger Things theme.
Yeah, I was liking it, man. I think
Yeah.
the trailer was an artful piece there, and a bit of marketing genius on your part, because everyone's hyped on Stranger Things right now. Like,
Yeah.
the Stranger Things IP is popping hard right now.
Yeah. And that's what I really wanted to, yeah, that was the thing that was kind of like doing well. So I was like, all right, it'd be kind of cool to kind of mix that in.
So did you just freestyle all that editing yourself, or did you have to get on Google and figure out some of that stuff?
No, I just did that all for myself. Like the editing was all done, on my own, but I had
Did
to
you
get
reference
someone to do the,
episodes of
what?
Stranger Things to do it?
Well, me and the wife have watched all of them, so that also
Right.
helped to kind
Nice.
of to do
Nice.
that. But I had to get someone to create like the intro part of like the letters moving.
Right.
So I had that done. But as far as all the other editing, I did that on my own.
How
So
did you outsource that?
some dude that he first emailed me, and then he ended up having some stuff on Fiverr, and I was like, well, I'm not too thrilled with Fiverr, but I'll give it a shot. And then so the guy was like, nah, don't worry about it, I can get it done. And I was like, all right, cool. And then it was the $5, but he ended up getting it done pretty easy.
Dude, it's amazing to me what you can get with $5 nowadays. And on the flip side, like sometimes I'm like, what the hell is $5? Like, wipe your nose with $5. Not that I'm rich or anything, but it's just like nothing costs $1 anymore. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so like I'm amazed at what you could get for $5. You know,
Yeah. So that was
Fiverr
cool.
is pretty
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
I
So to
actually
help
got
out.
my merch designers off of Fiverr. So I tried Upwork, didn't like it. Then I went through Fiverr. I went through about, ironically, 5 different designers on Fiverr before I got to the 6th one, which was actually the first female, and she crushed it so hard. Like, I was literally doubtful that I was going to find anyone that was the caliber that I wanted, and compared to what I've seen other people say they had VAs design, and like I seriously was almost going to settle. And then this girl just came through and was like knocked it out of the park, like 10 times harder than ones I was going to settle for, you know? And so I hired her on and she killed it. And then I started needing more designs than she could supply me with. And so I asked her if she knew anyone that was a designer rather than just going back to the drawing board. And turns out her cousin was a designer. And turns out her cousin was even better designer than she was, and like better work ethic. Like, she would design and then say, I finished them, give me more. You know what I mean? So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I like you. Uh, and eventually the original designer ended up parting ways. We just had some issues, But the cousin, the referral from the original designer, is still on the team and still rocking it super hard.
And that's probably say the advice for anybody else also that's like, watching. It's just, I mean, I don't recommend Fiverr when it comes to like the design part because you don't know what you're getting. Of course, there's trademark issues, copyright issues, but in Reezy's part, like if you're gonna have to go through probably 4, 5, 6, whether they're from Fiverr or not, to figure out like your designer and the right designer for you. It's not just gonna happen the very first designer comes up and you're like, oh yeah, these dudes are brilliant. Like it's not gonna work like that. You're gonna have to really do the research on it, make sure it's high quality design, and just also doing like a Google search to make sure no one's copying each other.
Right. Definitely.
So yeah.
Yeah, you got to reverse image search these designers, guys, especially when you first hire them on or you're testing them, because you never know what they're doing. Using vector art is cool. You shouldn't be expecting someone to illustrate designs for you for $4 or $2. That's not really going to happen realistically. I don't think so. But nice use of free royalty-free vector art, that's great. But just make sure they're not copying someone else's use and complete, positioning and text and everything, because that's likely, sometimes they'll give you a design and it's someone else's design. They just change the font, or whatever. And that's not going to fly. Those are the people. Basically, I just vetoed anybody that did that right away because I didn't give them explicit instructions on what to do. I told them don't copy other people's stuff. It needs to be original. It needs to be inspired by. And then they came back with that. And I'm like, well, we either have a language barrier or you're trying to be lazy or whatever. So
yeah,
on to the next one, because there is creative designers out there. My designer, she lives in Venezuela, and $4 per design. She makes 10 designs for me in a day. That's $40 bucks a day. The average income for a month in Venezuela is like 40 to 50 bucks. So that's killer. And she's doing that after work on the side of her full-time job.
Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, and those are the ones that are like hungrier too. So they're willing to put in the work to make in the extra money and to, design as many, shirts as possible for you, make that money from you, which is good money for them. So they're willing to do it. And like
Right.
what Casey says too, like I'm a designer, but I doubt I can compete with Philippines designer rates, especially if you're doing stuff like hand-drawn stuff. I mean, yeah, there's no way you're going to be able to compete with that kind of stuff. I mean, I charge like, even then I only have like a deal if I charge like 10, 12 a shirt. And even then, like they're going to be very basic. I'm not going to go in full details because it's a lot of
Yeah,
work.
you're not drawing anything for 10 bucks, right?
Yeah, no, exactly.
If you got to get the Wacom out, it's a little bit more.
Yeah,
What do you have a Wacom tablet?
I used to have one, but I haven't messed with one in a while.
So you draw with the mouse then?
Yeah, I'll do like the pen tool and all that
Okay.
for Illustrator. So
Nice.
yeah.
So we're coming up on 2 hours. I think we should probably wrap it up here. We're actually over 2 hours.
We're over 2 hours.
I
Holy
can't even
crap.
believe that, dude. It goes by pretty fast, yeah?
Oh, I know. I was like, what the heck? What time is it?
Yeah, we're in the upside down, bro. So real quick, a couple things. One is if you could go back to the beginning of when you first started taking reselling seriously, or for you it's a little different because you do YouTube, and you're more than just reselling, right? Personal brand and all that. What is something you could give your tip from, a tip you would have given yourself that would have really helped, like, right when you first started reselling full time or starting with the personal brand? If you could go back in time and whisper something into your ear, what would it be?
Definitely for the YouTube part, for me giving up for those 2 years, because even at that time, even though I only had like 1,300 subs, it was building up, and I had no one else that was really doing Ross type of videos when it came to sneakers. And with me to just kind of like let that go, who knows what could have built now. But I mean, luckily I was able to get back in and kind of build off of that. But I had to also rebrand it too, and then now I went to the Hustler Hacks route, and that really helped.
What was
But I
it
think,
before? Mad Cheap Kicks?
yeah, it was all about like cheap shoes that I got from Ross. It was nothing. It wasn't about anything else. It wasn't even about reselling. It was just about like finding shoes that I like to keep for myself from
Can you not
Ross.
modify your YouTube URL?
Yeah, I can't do that. So it's always
You
going to be
can't?
there.
You
No,
can't? You're not allowed to, or what?
not allowed to.
Oh, bummer. Because when I put the link below for his channel, I noticed that it was Mad Cheap Kicks, and I was like, huh, that's a weird name for Hustler Hacks.
Yeah, so that was when I first had the channel. Now I can't change it. It'll forever be there. And yeah, I think I probably just would have kept going. So if anybody that's even if you're doing YouTube now, like just don't give up on it, period. Because even if you're just doing one video a week, like all of that's gonna keep adding up over time. Like next thing you know, we're in Q4. Now it's like St. Patrick's Day. Now we're in summer all over again. Like it goes by
Yeah,
so
it's so
quick.
fast, and that's a good point that you make. It's kind of like what I was saying about Casey only having only 100 or 150 or a quarter million subs, and then starting doing daily vlogs, and now crushing it 4.5 or whatever million. Um, in the jump cut course, there was a dude talking about the similar thing. I forget his name. Violetti TV. I don't know, like a Russian guy who does pranks or whatever.
Hmm.
But he was like, yeah, like a year ago they were talking about not giving up and whatever, and he was like, yeah, I wish. He's like, I quit doing vlogs a year ago because he's like tried it for 3 or 4 months or whatever, and he wasn't getting the traction that he wanted, so he quit doing it. A daily vlogs for like 3 months, and then he quit. And this is someone that probably already had 100,000 subs at that time.
Yeah.
And then he gave up, and now he has who knows how many, maybe a million or 500,000 subs. But he was like, dang, just think what he's like, it's 12 months later now. If I would have kept at it, I probably would be seeing the numbers that I wanted to see on
Hmm.
the daily vlogs. So like, just keep at it, right? It's a patience game. It takes forever. Oh, Mike Kelly says it's Vitali. Yeah, so he apparently tried. I bet I don't watch much YouTube, but I bet he's doing vlogs now. But he
Okay.
started a long time ago, gave up after only doing it for a few months and not being excited with the results. But yeah, if you keep with something, what's that thing people say? People usually give up right before success, and there's like that
Yeah.
picture of the guy like giving up when he's digging in the tunnel, and then there's
Yeah.
like the pile of gold or diamonds like right there.
Yeah. And in my case, it was just kind of more of an excuse because, yeah, I was starting my career. I want to be focused on that. But in this case, I'm working from like 8 to 10 p.m. every day. Like I could have edited videos once I was off from work. Like there was no excuse from that. So,
Right.
you have to just find the time, even if you do go to bed late or get up early, just find the time to do it.
Yeah, my recommendation to people, which is totally not original, is just cut out all that stuff that like the TV, the whatever, like you could still sit with your family while they watch the TV, and you could be on your laptop getting some work done, or like it's just TV anyways, it's just shows, there's always going to be shows, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you're not always going to have your opportunity to seize your moment. Shout out to Coco, the movie, just saw that. Have you
Oh,
seen it?
no, I wanted to see it.
Dude, it's good. I dropped a couple man tears.
Oh, I know. I heard it was yeah, pretty emotional.
Dude, it's super emotional. It's great though, man. It's a
Did you
good
hug your
flick.
family a little bit more after?
A little bit. I mean, I like it. I'm not like, even though I'm married into my Mexican, I don't know too much about like the Dia de las Muertes, like how it works or whatever. And then like I realized it, like, oh, I don't know if you celebrate it or whatnot, but it's like, oh, you have an ofrenda and you put the deceased one's pictures on there so you can remember them because they disappear from the afterlife if you forget them, so they stay in the afterlife as long as you remember them. And then there's like this thing where like they get the on the day they get to come back from the land of the dead to the land of the living to like be around you. And that's why you bring the offerings for them when they come during that time. But if you don't put their picture on the ofrenda, they don't get to come.
And
And
how
then
was the wife? She was
uh, it was good. Everyone was crying except for Luna. She didn't. I don't know if she doesn't
she
get
not,
emotional.
she doesn't get emotional. It's funny.
She's just hyperactive. That's it. But my 17-year-old was like bawling after it. She was like,
Oh,
"I'm
there you go.
okay. I swear I'm okay." And like, but I fully winked out a couple man tears.
Nice. That would
It
have
was
been nice for YouTube.
What's funny is I never cried before I had kids ever, and now I cry at cartoons.
There we go.
I'm hard out here. I'll stare you down while I'm licking an ice cream cone. Like, what? Don't look at me, fool. Oh man. Hey, so before we get out of here, I like to let all the guests ask the audience a question. So right now there's 50 people watching, but I'll probably get a couple thousand views on this at least. So hoping for more, obviously, but being pessimistic. What is your question for my audience, for the people watching? You can ask them anything, and then they will comment down below. If you're watching this live, don't comment in the live chat because that disappears. Save your answer for after the video has been posted and post it in there. But what is something that you would like to know from the audience? And then you can get into the comments and engage with them. It could be direction for your content. It could be anything. It's all up to you.
I think my question would be kind of like what we talked about on the show. So, from the reseller community, what are some things that you have not seen us YouTubers do that you want to see?
Great question. I particularly like that question because I could utilize the answer myself. Great one, Glenn.
Great one.
Alley-oop. Team fire for that one, baby.
There we go. Peyton the camp.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us, Glenn. Real quick, where can everyone find you in case I didn't do a good enough job of shouting out where all your stuff is?
You can email me, hustlerhacks1@gmail.com. Hustler Hacks on YouTube, Merch Minds podcast. And I'm also doing merch coaching. If you're interested in something like that, I will sit with you and we'll figure this thing out together. Anything you want to know, make sure you get you on track.
Mention Reezy Talks, and I'll get a 20% fee on
that. Yeah, you can email me, hustlerhacks1@gmail.com. We'll get that set up for you. If it was from Reezy, then yeah, I'll give Reezy a little cut.
Spreading butter on my toast, baby. You know I like that. All right, Glenn, thank you so much for being here with us for 2 hours. I appreciate you a lot, and personally, especially because I'm always hitting you up for merch-related advice too, which I definitely need some more of. But we have a saying around here. Do you know what we say?
I don't know what we say.
YouTubers don't watch YouTube, so this always doesn't work out for me. I was like, if you ain't flipping,
you slipping.
Yep. All right. Peace out, Glenn. Thank you very much.
See you.
Thanks, guys.